so epic. Wow, 3 seconds left. I was just thinking,
page.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man? I was distracted to the intro.
Yeah. Intro was legit.
Yeah.
Every time I hear the music now, it gets me excited, and I want to highlight this comment from the Cash family, Morgan and Kevin both. The best part of my week. I mean, what better compliment to a podcast is there than that? Hell yeah!
I see White Mike finally got on. He was calling me, telling me how do I get on? To be the smartest one of all my to be the smartest one of the brothers, this dude can't work a damn social media to save his life. Wow. Like I shared it to my page. Go in there and click the where you watch live button.
Man, you know what?
It's on YouTube too, White Mike.
You know,
you're gonna confuse him, bro. You can't give him too many social media outlets. You're gonna hurt his head, bro.
Yeah, I talked to Austin today, man.
Oh yeah, he texted me. He was like, "Hey, can you reach out? Can you reach out to DJ?" I'm like, I seen it late, and then he responded back. Was like, "Oh, I already talked to him."
Man, I talked to him. I've come to find out he's getting married on the same day I got married, bro. So his marriage day would be my anniversary day.
Yeah, tell him you ain't gonna be able to make that, bro.
I'm like, bro, that's gonna be a hard sell to the wifey, bro. That's gonna be hard. This is gonna be our 5th anniversary and his first, but it's like monumental. I felt bad, man. Like I felt horrible because I was telling him, I really, really want to DJ this wedding, bro.
He'll be all right.
I thought when you told me originally it was November, so when it came, I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah, they had changed it a couple times, so.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, man. I'm not going to give up. Let me adjust my seat. How y'all doing, man?
Good, bro.
I'm good. We did the So Smoking Gooder show live from the War Pig barbecue tent down at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo show last night. It was pretty freaking epic. The whole stuff's not even really started yet, and there were probably 100 people down there watching it live. Is pretty cool. Cool little environment to be in. So,
man, Renee's at the rodeo today, along with Matt. Matt's down at the rodeo today.
Yeah, as you can see, Matt Johnson, our fearless leader, co-host and proprietor of Got Your Six Culture, is down there on the hospitality committee, driving people back and forth and getting everything set up for the rodeo and cook-off.
Doing God's work for the people.
Hey, well, that kind of suits him. Like when he was in the Navy before he went to the recruiting side, he was a heavy equipment operator for the Seabees, and they always drove the Liberty buses. So he's back on Liberty bus duty. So, doing his thing, right? I mean, it'll be a little different. There maybe won't be as many fist fights as they normally are on the Liberty bus, especially when you're picking up Army and Marines and Seabees. You get them all on a bus together after they came back from the club. There's bound to be some vomiting and some fist fights. And they don't stop the bus either. It's crazy. You're on the Liberty bus. You look back and you're like 10 dudes are just throwing hands, right? And then get to the next club and they're like all best friends again. Like, all right, man, welcome to the military, right?
Yep.
Yeah, our girl Julie Willis is on 1, 2, 3. Hey, Julie.
Hey, girl.
Hey, what's going on? Julie's in the house.
I do want to tell Julie.
Willis's.
I think one of your daughters popped up as somebody I may know on Facebook, and I was like, oh, she looks just like her mom. Thank God your daughters are beautiful just like you, and they didn't take nothing after their dad. I really, really was like, that's a blessing, right? God works in mysterious ways, and He definitely blessed your children with your looks. Thank God.
Speaking of somebody looking good, look, Mike Hero will be a guest on. Yeah, he'll be a guest soon. You looking good too, brother?
Hey,
that's White Mike?
Yeah, you see that pool picture right down there? Here's the craziest part about that picture is so I was doing government lease housing, right? So essentially it's like military housing, but you get a house. And I was in a neighborhood. When I tell you like the neighborhood was like doctors and lawyers and like it was an upscale neighborhood. Me and my brother decided it was a good idea to blow up a kiddie pool and sit in the backyard and just drink. In fact, Kevin Cash came over to the neighborhood and we had to move the party from the front. When he started walking around the neighborhood acting like a dinosaur and taking shots of his own urine in the neighborhood, it was time to move the party to the backyard. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's about the time to move it back.
Yeah, it's about that time.
I can relate to that, man. Like at some point in time, there's that boundary where it's like, all right, yep, that's y'all on some weird shit.
Hey, well, that's white people shit. That's how we do, bro.
Yeah,
we do some weird stuff together. When you get us together in a group, some weird stuff starts happening.
That's what you call WPS, right?
Yeah, white people shit, bro.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting people together in a group, Rick Ames, what's up, Rick Ames?
Rick Ames.
He's putting together that music festival concert and everything for veterans, and he's talking about getting the most veteran podcasters ever in one place to try to set a record.
Oh yeah,
that'd
be dope.
Yeah, we should try to probably take part in that.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I already told David and him I'm going to be there for sure. So,
all right. Well, I know I said last week that we were going to double up at some point. So, Ty, where are we at as far as the follower thing, man? Where are we at right now? Because I you know what I'm saying, I kind of wrote a check that my ass is going to have to cash. So I got to make sure I monitor it so I can kind of,
let me look real quick.
Some kind of a grid on the ass whooping I'm going to get. Because I believe in the people. I believe that we can get there. But it's a challenge. I'm gonna see if y'all really messing with us or not. If y'all are out there and you really messing with us, the only way we're gonna know is if you tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody that told somebody that knows something about it, and they come and they check us out. And it's gonna show on the numbers. So I'm just challenging y'all because we're gonna be here. We here. Well, I know last week Al decided to take a break off. He said he was sick. I don't know what happened, but we're not talking. That's up to it.
Al wasn't sick. Al had a sick daughter.
Oh, okay. The daughter was sick. Okay, I thought you were sick.
No, bro. He
was right after Valentine's Day, bro. I thought wifey put them boots on you, man, and did something to you. You couldn't make it today.
Hey, the last time I was on this podcast sick, I had a bucket beside me just in case, whatever. So
yeah.
I don't miss if I'm sick, but my kid was sick. My wife was, taking care of her mom who was having. I don't remember what it's called, Ty. You told me the cardio ablation or whatever. So yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff going on. So
I got you. Makes sense. And then Matt's doing his thing this week. So next week, Ty, where you going to be at? You're going to be here, brother. You're going to be here.
Oh, at your house? Oh, okay, yeah.
You're going to be on the podcast. We're not doing
for sure. Oh, yeah. So it looks like we gained 30. We were at 2051. Now we're at 2,081 followers. This is just on Facebook is where we made the deal.
Okay. I'm glad you do the math because I'd have had to break out the iPhone with the calculator and be like, all right, so how many was that? We add
carried
a one. Yeah.
It took me a minute, but
yeah.
So I do want to say something about Matt Johnson real quick. So Matt's down there doing the Lord's work with the Houston Livestock and Rodeo. But I mean, Al and I were talking about it, how he talks about himself in the third person with all the jobs he has. I think he does that just to keep it right in his mind. But he's got Your Six Culture. He's a realtor with Anchor Up Realty. He's a mortgage loan officer. He's still got a mortgage loan officer license. He's a recruiter for military-based jobs, and he makes cornhole boards.
Yeah.
This guy never stops working.
No.
And like Al said, when Al came in town, he didn't go to sleep.
I'll never stay at that dude's. And that's my dude. I'll never stay at his house ever again. Like, we got there. We went out that night. We went to a no-label brewery, which was awesome. It was phenomenal, right? We had a good time. We get back to the house. It's late. It's like, by that time, it's like 1 a.m. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. I guess we're going. Nah, we started playing dominoes and smashing bourbon. And then at 4 a.m, 4:30, he's waking us up. And
hey, good night, Kinsey.
Hey, say bye. You can't see your face way over there, kid.
Bye.
So and then 4 a.m, we're up going to make shirts and going to.
Yep.
I was like, man, what are we doing?
Yeah. That's Matt. So the biggest job he has, man, he is an awesome friend. Like, if you need, we talk every day. If you need something, that guy's right there. I will tell you that. So above all the jobs he has, the most important one, man, is when you have Matt as a friend, you got a true friend. I will tell you that for sure. Yeah, 1,000% told. Like, I've seen this guy, man, like, you talk to him, he's like, yeah, man, I got to do some shirts and I got to do some cornhole boards and, and then I got to do my recruiting stuff. And then, me and Becky are going to do this. And then on top of that, I got to go down here and pick up some stuff and I got to deliver some stuff to the other side of town. And then on top of that, I got the rodeo coming up this week and the podcast coming up. So, with that going on, and then all that, then I just got another order for cornhole boards. So I'm going to, that's the conversation you have with Matt. It's like, bro, did you ever start like, what can I do to help out? You know what I mean? How can I help?
I go to Ty's house. Stay at Ty's house. I get to sleep. They had something to do. I got to sleep in. Like, man, it was awesome. I was like, man, I'm staying at Scott's or Ty's. I am not staying at Matt's. That dude wants me to go to work. I don't like to work as it is.
I'm gonna go stay at Scott next time. I'll stay at Scott's house next time.
Man, he's got saying in Casa de la Scott in the north wing of the mansion. Yeah, I'm down.
Well, I got to make sure I pay my air conditioning bill, man. Since I'm outside this little shack, I just got to make sure I crack my window open so that you guys will be cool and we'll be good in a little box.
Man,
we're in a little box, man. You guys are always welcome, man. We can throw a couple of blow up mattresses on the floor inside the box, and we'll just get it. We'll just be there. No problem.
This dude said blow up mattresses. All right.
He got 7 spare rooms. My blow up mattress.
Hey, we're gonna bring the whole crew to the Willis's house. We'll stay down in the basement.
Yeah, we'll do a triple threat vet / I always mess the dang podcast names up because
home front sit
rep / triple threat vet podcast all in one place. Big boom live. We got to set it up and be live. What you think about that, David? What'd you say about that one?
We could do that.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that in November when we set the Guinness Book of World Records anyway. So that'd be fun.
You better check with Julie. She may have to go on vacation for that weekend, bro. It might get a little rowdy. We might be eating crayons, taking shots. I don't even know. It might get a little crazy. It might be like a field exercise. We might be like a CAX all over again.
Yeah.
Hey, do y'all know Paul Latif?
His name is super cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he messaged us or something. Maybe I just forgot. But yeah, if you need to get on the show, man, message us. Nasty. We'll get you on the show.
Yep, let's do it.
Absolutely.
I want to bring Kevin Cash on it. I sent y'all, Kevin. I did share your photo. You sent me. You nasty. You are nasty, bro. I showed my.
Oh, is that the photo you sent us?
Yeah, bro. That's Kevin.
That's Kevin Cash.
Yeah. That's
Bravo, Kevin. Brother. I got a photo of Jay Muse in that exact pose.
I was curious to know, like,
just to let the listeners know what pose we're talking about.
Have you watched what's the movie? The Other Guys, when the guy's I know you by this beard, you may think that I'm hairy all over, but I'm not. I'm completely shaved everywhere.
Yeah.
And I seen that picture of Kevin with that beard, and I was like, I zoomed in. I seen a little tiny baby, like red pubic. Like, he's a ginger. That's gross, bro. You got clean that up, brother. Like, that ginger pubes is disgusting, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh. Fire.
What's up, Shiza Manelli?
Ah.
Shiza Manelli. That's Sean Newhouse, senior vice commander for the Tomball VFW baseball season starting. Did y'all catch the Dodgers today?
No.
Yeah, only watch Braves games.
Spring training. Yeah.
No, I didn't catch it, man. Running around, I'm trying to do some real estate stuff now, and just trying to stay busy now that I'm home. Now my wife gives me a pretty good honey-do list to do to ensure that I have things to do. So no, I didn't catch that, sir. That's just what it is right now.
That's all good. We're going to be going to games. We got season tickets. We'll be going to some games this year for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to give a shout out to one of our previous guests. I got some pictures here, but we got the coins from Amuse. One of our guests a couple weeks ago.
There you go.
Who you sent the chocolate to?
Amuse, yeah.
I got a picture of the front. Here's the front of them.
Bam.
Thanks, Amuse. Go ahead and enter her. Thank you for your service.co. She's got a bunch of ladies wear and stuff like that. The back of it says, you are in charge of your own life and its outcome. Don't let nobody else come in with their naysaying and ruin your fighting spirit or your motivation. Fuck them.
Yes.
As you can see, she always kept it real when she was on the show. So shout out to her.
Yep. That's why I said I want to make sure I kept my promise. Just like Al feels like he thinks that I don't have any bourbon for him, but I do. So when he comes, I have something for him.
Hey, look,
because I'm a man of my word.
I cleaned out my liquor bottles.
I got you, brother. I had
my interview today with for the position I applied for, right?
Yeah.
I had to clean it off so I look professional. I couldn't looking like a straight
Yeah.
I mean, they're all empty, which even looks worse. Like, I don't have no alcohol in the bottles. They all empty. I'm like, that's just not a good look. You know?
Yeah. So, I got you though, man. You trust and believe. I'm a man of my word. I try to be. A man of my word.
It ain't failed yet, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
It
I'm coming.
has not
I'm coming
failed
out to Houston. What is it? The 8th, I think. Ty, what's that date? The 8th or the 9th? That
Man,
week,
that's something we need to talk about. Like we had been texting about if we're going to go to this show or that show. I definitely want to go to the Bubba Wesley show after the Jelly Roll. So definitely try to be here for that because that's going to be at that little getaway spot down there at the rodeo.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it won't be in the big stadium.
Yeah, he texted me. We've been texting back and forth about it, so he's hoping we come out, show some
Yeah,
love. So I've been talking with him back and forth. His song he just hit radio, so he's getting radio airtime now for some of his songs. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
To our boy Bubba, much love. We always respect that guy. He's awesome. So
Bubba
for
Wesley, shout out to my man. But you know what we didn't do? I didn't say, welcome everybody. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. I'm your man, DJ Royal T, along with my man, Ty Cobb, and also my big good friend, Al Heroes in the building. I want to tell everybody who's with us today that's listening, whether it is through Twitch, whether it's through YouTube, or whether it's through Facebook, or wherever you are listening from us, if you can hear our voice, from us to you, we want to say thank you and welcome. And we are here for another day. What is today? Today is February 22nd. With that being the case, I have to say happy birthday to my little sister, Crystal, and happy birthday to my cousin, Thomas. It's their birthday. Happy birthday to y'all. Yeah. But we're here and you're here. So if you're here and we're here, that means that both of us got our ass up and decided that we were going to be here today. So we have an opportunity to do something great. We have the opportunity to overcome and conquer. I want all of you guys to tap into your friends, tap into everyone you know, and just motivate them and convince them and let them know that they are loved and they deserve to be here. This is our time in space. This is our presence. This is our essence. We deserve to be here. We got to make something of it. So shouts out to you for getting up and being here today. I just wanted to say that. This is DJ Royal T. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. So I'm here with my man T.Y. Cobb and my man Al Hero. And we in here, y'all. I just had to do that because we didn't do that when you came in.
Well, speaking of birthdays, Morgan Cash has a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday, right? Happy early birthday to Morgan.
Yeah. That's what
they're
it
probably, I know her husband. They probably gonna go to like Western Sizzler, hit that buffet up a little bit.
We going Sizzler.
Yeah, or maybe
Yeah.
he might get splurging and take her to Crystal's, get that sack full. You know what I'm saying? They just, well, I don't have. I think he's in like Illinois. I don't know, White Castle. I think that's what y'all got up there. Y'all got the gut grenades up there. So splurge on. Let her get the cheese on a burger this time. Cash, come on, bro.
Yeah. So what we got today, guys? What we going to do today? I know it's a little different. We don't have our man Matt with us. It's a little different last week. We didn't have Al with us, but we're here, man. We still live in effect. We're still shooting, man. So what we got what do we have on the plan for today? What can the people who are listening expect to get from us today, February 22nd, 2024?
Oh, that's not good. I guess that's me. Well, I know we got Berto coming on at the bottom of the hour after we pay the bills. We're going to talk some Ask Berto stuff. So if you got questions you want to get answered by a licensed clinical social worker, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Or if you want to be anonymous, throw them up in the Facebook Messenger for Triple Threat Vets, and we'll get them to answer them on screen. And then other than that, we're just going to be waxing poetic all night long, talking about some stuff. I got some announcements to make, I'm sure in the throes of the conversation, then we'll pull some kind of gem out our ass. So, and
we got our man Al in here today. So, you never know what it's going to be. So it is what it is. You already know what comes about when we,
what's that shirt you got on there, Al?
Repping. Try that in a small town. Repping for my boys.
Who you repping?
The Hodge twins. So I'm a big fan of the Hodge twins. They do a podcast, they do a bunch of different things, but they have some really, really cool gear, right? Some of the stuff my wife will allow me to wear in public. Some of the stuff she's like, you're just looking for a fight. I'm like, maybe so, but they have some pretty good stuff. So, a lot of patriotic gear, right? A lot of their shirts are great. They're not as good as my boy Matt Johnson stuff, but Matt Johnson doesn't have the cause problems political shirts that I like to wear, right? I wore one this weekend. It said 0% liberal on it, and people either love that shirt in public or they really just. I purposely I don't go into Target, not my store, but I walk through the parking lot just like like peacocking around the parking lot, like hoping somebody would say something.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. You know, most people with painted nails and dudes wearing skirts ain't really going to run up on me. They might. I mean, they may know some special stuff that I don't know. But yeah, it is. It is what it is. So
yeah. Well, I got a question, man, real quick. Controversial, maybe not, maybe so. But I do have a question.
All right.
I seen that my man Donald Trump got some new shoes out. Now, I saw them.
What?
I saw these shoes, right? They was gold. You know, I saw them, and I'm not going to get political on either side of the fence. Question is, what do you think about them damn shoes, and would you wear them?
No, I'm trying to find a picture of them right now, but I know when I saw them, they look like some cheap ass bobos from Afghanistan, and no.
Yeah, they look at the Haji shoes, like the fake.
They look like them fake ass Jordans.
And when I first saw them, I thought it was a joke. Like I thought they were being funny, and then I saw him walking on the stage with them in his hand, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is real deal. This is a real thing." So I've seen people wearing them. Yeah, them golden shoes, man.
Yeah, for one, I'm on punishment from buying shoes for a long time. Like I'm
the
not going to be allowed to
boots
purchase.
probably put you out of there.
I'm not going to be allowed to purchase shoes, flip flops, none. Like I'm like for real. Like so.
Well, I don't understand what happened. You bought some shoes that rock the boat.
If you drink a lot and then you order $1,000 Gator shoes or Gator boots on a website, it's frowned upon from the wife. Like I guess you're supposed to check with your significant other for like major purchases. I thought that was like house, car. I didn't, I don't know. So I'm on punishment.
How many, if I were in the market for some shoes like that, how much would something like that cost?
So I got mine on sale. They were originally, I think, $3,600. I think I got them for,
oh, wow,
18 or 19. I can't really recall. But they range anywhere from like, we'll say $1,000 up to $15,000, depending on what you're looking for.
Do you have those boots on now, sir?
No, they're actually in a shelf above my bed next to the deer head. You know what I'm saying? Like I got
you. Okay.
So
I would wear them every waking moment if I spent that much money on them.
Yeah. Have you done the whoopee with those boots on yet?
No. It's still a sore subject in the Hero household, right? So
I'm sorry about that.
We're like when she sees them, it's like all the moisture in the room and the air just like my house is on fire around me. So there's
you have to change the tone. You have to change what those boots mean. You know what I mean? So try it. You just got to change it. Like she might look at those boots in a whole different light if somebody else was wearing them, like Chris Helmsworth or what's the guy that Julie liked on the Niners. Maybe if he walked in wearing them, it'd be okay. But this guy,
Nick Bosa.
Yeah, Nick Bosa walked in wearing them. I'm sure it'd be okay.
Nick or Joey Bosa, one of them. I don't know which one plays.
I'll put it in her wear the boots,
bro. They make me taller too, bro. I cut. So what you do is for you. Like me, I'm kind of tall, but I got short ankles, so it's a weird situation. What you do is you take old shower shoes. This is for you under-heighted people, right? You cut off the back of shower shoes and you put them inside your regular shoes or like boots, and it gives you a 1/4 inch. Like it's a life hack. Put the shower shoe back in the shoe, gives you a little bit of stance. So like with my boots on, that the heel's like an inch, 2 inch, whatever it is. So I get a little extra height. Then you put that 1/4 inch shower shoe, bro, boot camp shower shoe in there.
You're up there.
I'm almost breaking 5'4". I'm a solid 5'6.5". You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Yeah.
So I did want to talk about
Julie made it clear. Nick Bosa. It's Nick Bosa, not Joey. I guess Joey plays for the Chargers.
Gotcha. Okay.
One of the Bosas.
Yeah, I don't know. One of them. Anyways, what were you going to ask?
I know we talked a little bit. I want to talk about you a little bit, Ty. I want to talk about. We started a competition earlier in the month. We're kind of still going there.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about your weight loss journey. Kind of, you had some medical stuff going on, right? Not a secret, right? And you're trying to get back into Ranger shape, right? So talk to us a little bit about what you got going on, bro. Maybe more like a combat commo or combat lifesaver shape.
There we go. I don't know about Ranger shape. Army school nonetheless, but not quite as intense. Yeah. So, man, I'll wax poetic on this for a second. So everyone knows that I've always been a big guy. That I was 250 plus when I went to airborne school, or right around 250, and I weigh about 350 pounds now. And what I really don't want to do is die. So I want to be around so we can continue the podcast. I want to be around so I can be with my friends, and I definitely want to be here so that I can provide for my family. So what I want to do is you're going to be seeing me going live on some of the channels. So if you see me going live and I'm working out, I need you to hold me accountable. Now, this is definitely something that's going to motivate me, hearing people's comments, negative, positive. I'm sure the listeners will be positive, but other people could be negative because, it is what it is. But I want to get below 300 pounds. And I want to get back in shape because I have so many things wrong, with me from the Army. So I've got ruptured Achilles. I've got fusions in my back. I've got pain here, pain everywhere. I got to lose weight, man. I got to get back in shape or else, I'm 48 years old, about to be 49. And, Kyle Shudik. I just got to lose weight. So I got to get under 300 pounds. I don't really have a time frame on it, but I'm going to start right after my doctor's appointment next Tuesday. I'm going in for a consultation for the sacroiliac joint fusion possibly. And, a couple other things I got to fix with my back before I can, alleviate some of that nerve pressure. And then when that shit's done, then we're going to hit it hard. Cause at this point, I've got a couple fusions already. It's not worked. I've been getting Toradol shots since 2005. It's not working. So the only thing that I've not done is get my ass in the last 7 years, at least, is get my ass out there and just start working, work through the pain. So it's gotten to the point to where I was hoping it would get better, but it's just not. So I've got to do something about it. And it's going to be pretty serious. So yeah, I gotta lose weight, man. So that this part of me, is very handsome. That way, this part of me.
Hey. Good try. I live in Florida, so it's abundant down here, and I can get as much as you want. But methamphetamine, meth is good.
I'm looking into that. Yeah,
meth is pretty good. It helps you lose weight pretty quick. If you run it with some coke as well, coke and meth, right? Speedball it. I hear it's great for weight loss. Not really, but it's something we can try.
I'll be a crackhead. Let me get one chicken wing.
Now we got your back, bro. I know we had talked about it a little bit. You want to get motivated and get that picture that Scott sent us from him. I think it was like 2018, bro. The Black Hercules, bro, like J. Michael White's body. I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, man. I remember when I was telling y'all that this was like coming up in my mind. I sent y'all like the picture when I was, pretty good shape, and then I sent y'all one when I was not in good shape. But what I was not expecting was a Greek Adonis to be adorned on my phone. Damn. And he's like, oh yeah, that was 6 years ago. Not in that shape now. Whatever.
I'm with Al, man. Like he motivated me to get my butt back up, man, and get in the gym. It's been tough, man. Like you say, my back's messed up, migraines and all that nonsense, but it's still, you can look at those things and make that a reason why you try not to get out there. But just for the same reason, it's got to be the reason for you to try to get out there. So I see Al and I'm like, man, I need to get back in there. I love the smell of the gym. I like the sound of the weights, but I realize, man, now I'm about to be 50, bro. I can't do this stuff I used to do. So to think that you're going to go in there and just kill it like start off where you left off, it doesn't. But I would encourage anybody in this time, just try. Just get out there. If you can't run, walk. If you can't lift, just stretch. You know what I mean? Just move. Move yourself. Move your body. Get your heart rate up. It's that time.
Yes. So start small, get big. I mean, that's kind of how it works, right?
This is how it works.
And I'll tell you what, for anybody that's on the fence, right? Or they're like, man, it's been so long. How do you start that habit, right? How do we get back into some kind of routine? I will tell you, it is hard in the beginning, right? But the one thing that like has helped me is, right, I have an accountability team. I got Scott and I got Ty and I got people that hold me accountable to doing it. And it does feel better, right? Regardless of what you think, right? Mental health is kind of tied to physical health, mental health, and Berto. I see Berto in the background, right? Your physical and mental kind of can go hand in hand. For me, when I work out and I do go to the gym, I feel like not only is my day better, right? My mental health, right? Because I'm on pills and mental health stuff. And, I finally went back to my doctor just recently because my wife was like, because I decided, you know what? I'm smarter than these doctors with my 3 GEDs. I'm going to take myself off my meds. So I titrated myself off. And now I'm back on a good regimen. But I think what's really helped me is that physical side, right? Even getting up and getting into the gym early in the morning, like Scott said, the smell of the gym, the sound of the weights, right? And just getting there and do something, get moving, movement, it's motivating, right? And for me, I think the big thing was I'm more productive. I've noticed that if I get up and I work out, whether it's and you can say all you want, well, I don't have the time. And 10, 20 minutes, you don't even have to go to a gym. Yep. Just get up and get out, walk, move around. I'm more productive during the day. I come home, I'm more productive at work. I'm more productive with my family. I sleep better at night, which is a big thing for veterans, right? I don't know how, and Berto may have some numbers, but the percentage of veterans that have sleep issues, it's crazy, right? I mean, we all have some form of, whether it's like Ty, sleep apnea or whatever, but I don't sleep good, but I find when I do work out, even short stints of workout, I feel better. Right. So, and the same thing Ty said, we all want to be here for our brothers and sisters, right? We want to be here for our community. We want to be here for our families. And you can't do that when your body's broken or you're not able to do things right. You can't go on a hike with your kids, or you can't go out and throw the football or the baseball because you've let yourself kind of get to a point where you think there's no coming back from it. But that's a lie. You lie, right? None of us were superstars when we went to basic training. None of us were superstars when we went through combat skills or combat trainer or whatever school it is. It's all your mind, right? It's all mental. If you can get your mental stuff and be mentally tough and get back to like those critical resiliency tools that you had, and remember what it was like, and just get motivated, man, and get out and move, get moving. You'd be surprised on what it does for you.
Yeah, you got 24 hours in the day, man. So you got to dedicate one of those to yourself. And I'll tell you the things that you can do if you're coming up short of ideas, right? If you order DoorDash, it's going to take DoorDash about 20, 30 minutes to get to you. While you're waiting for it, go walk around the block, walk around 2 blocks, time yourself. All right, DoorDash is going to be here in 30 minutes, so I'm going to walk for 25 of them. By the time I come in the house, the DoorDash man will be here. It might motivate you to put some of that stuff down and not eat it that comes to your door. You know what I mean? If you're thinking about picking up some cupcakes or some candy or something, because that's what you do. I'm a diehard sweet person, but now I say, you know what? Where I used to eat a handful of candy, I'll just eat 3 or 4 because I really don't need them. But you have to just put in your mind that, if you want to do something, talking about it is not going to fix it. Sitting on the couch talking about getting yourself in shape is not going to do it. Don't put the pressure on yourself to go to the gym and get messed up by all these videos and stuff that you see every time you do Instagram. You see all these muscle people and people doing these exercises, and you want to look like that overnight. It's not going to happen. But what can happen is what you do tomorrow that you didn't do today is an improvement. What you do the next day is an improvement from that day. And if you walk 1 block the first week and 2 blocks the next week, you've made an improvement. So take those small wins, and turn them into the long-term victory. That's all you have to do. And if you need an accountability partner, you got to find one. Get my phone number, text me. I'll say, hey, while you're walking, we're talking. But it's the small things. Start off small, put in your mind that you want to be better, and just put in a small plan for it. And then it works.
Remember, it's smooth is fast, right?
Yep.
Go slow to go fast, and go small to get big. That's just, it's easy, easier said than done, but yeah, get motivated. And then I have a daughter, right? So for me, my motivation is different. Like I need to be able to, when she brings that first boyfriend home, know in my head, I'll whoop this little dude's ass. Like if this dude tries me or my daughter, right, I'm gonna come unglued, and I'm gonna be in fighting shape, right? You know what I'm saying? That's really my motivation, because at the end of the day, but I'm like, man, I got a daughter, bro, and she's pretty, bro. I'm gonna have to be able to put hands on some young bucket, or really pull my shirt off and have a wife beater on, and not have, like I'm pregnant with a wife beater on. I'm gonna be like, what's up, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be ready for that.
Yep. But do it for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see Berto in the green room there. Let's pay some bills real quick, and we'll come back right after this and wax poetic with some Ask Berto. So if you got some questions, throw them in the chat. And if not, then put them in the messenger, and we'll get them answered.
All right. Again, everybody, thank you. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. You're in here live with my man TY, my man Al Hero, and your boy DJ Royal T. We're going to take a short break to pay some bills, and we'll be back. So don't you guys go nowhere. If you have somebody that's here, that's not here, let me say that right. If there's somebody who should be here that's not here, this would be the time to give them a call and say, hey, we live. You better get on the show, and let's get this thing cracking. But we'll be right back. Triple Threat Vet Podcast, y'all.
Get ready to groove to the electrifying sounds of DJ Royal T, the maestro of mixing who knows how to turn any event into an unforgettable dance sensation. Royalty Entertainment is here to bring you the ultimate musical experience, straight from the ones and twos, in your ears and through your body to activate them dancing shoes. Get ready to sweat, party, and have a good time while your DJ needs are being blazed by none other than me, DJ Royalty. I have spent years crafting together a DJ entertainment empire that promises a customized blend of musical tracks, mix and mastering, and top quality sound, all while providing a vibrant ambiance to accommodate any of your DJ needs. Royalty Entertainment Services is your premier one-stop shop for top-tier musical entertainment and is hosted by yours truly. For more information, reservations, and booking, feel free to look around the website at godjroyalty.com. I am DJ Royalty, and this has been another Royalty Entertainment production. Yeah.
Gear up in style wearing Got Your Six apparel. Every purchase makes a difference. It's more than just clothing, it's a statement of gratitude. Upgrade without breaking the bank. Discover cost-effective, high-quality clothing made in the USA. Each shirt is handcrafted by our team in the great state of Texas and shipped for free to your front door. Got Your Six is where quality meets purpose. We're a small veteran-owned business that takes pride in the mission and the value of our products. Join us in growing a community, supporting our heroes, veterans, and first responders by wearing a custom design.
I thought you'd never ask.
Visit sameflagsameoath.com and use the code TRIPLETHREAT for 10% off. Follow us on all social media platforms for any upcoming releases or events, and you can reach out to us with questions anytime. We are here to support our brothers and sisters.
Off-roading. The art of getting dirty and going broke while slowly heading nowhere and taking all day to do it.
Project Zero is a registered 501c3 with a mission to transform veteran and first responder well-being through our total wellness approach that addresses your mental, physical, and social wellness. We're still reflecting on a powerful year of impact with Project Zero. In 2023, we proudly served 198 first and frontline responders, military veterans, and their families through our transformative mental health programs, our outdoor programs, and our fitness programs. Find out more on our website, projectzero.com. Just get out there.
Hey everyone, Mac Birdie here. I am the founder of Veteran Mortgage Solutions. I'm a two-time combat military Army veteran, and I am here to serve you today with your VA home loan process. If you are a veteran and you are looking to use a VA home loan, if you're looking to purchase your house, if you're looking to refinance, give us a call today. Go to my website, fill out my quick form. I personally will take $500 off towards closing costs. One of my military veteran loan officers will give you a call rather quickly, and we'll get it all set up for you. Here at Veteran Mortgage Solutions, we take care of our veterans. We do not charge to pull for a COE. We don't have ridiculous funding fees. Our rates are awesome. Our pricing is great. We are here to take care of veterans, and that's what we do on a daily basis. We're an all-military veteran team. We are here for you, veterans to veterans, helping veterans, and we are known as the experts of the VA home loan. So have a wonderful day. Reach out to us and let us start working for you.
Burn every fucking boat. Burn every fucking boat. Like torch them all on fire. Every boat. Every plan B. Every exit. Every would've, could've, should've, maybe. Here's my escape plan. Burn every fucking boat. You're guaranteed to win if you burn the boats. Leave one or two on the shore. Hide one under the bushes. Maybe here's my escape route. And I guarantee you'll fail. You'll fail. Every single time. You burn every fucking boat. You don't have an option. You don't have an option to do anything different. Burn every fucking boat.
Burn every fucking boat. That gets me so hype. That's I made that today when I started talking to y'all about talking about announcing that I'm going to lose some weight tonight, but I made that. I'm going to listen to that every day, and we're going to lose this fucking weight.
Now, what was he saying about the boats? What I missed the comment.
So the premise of this is, back in the day when we would use boats to go discover new areas or whatever, the captain would say, burn the boats because this is the mission. We're not leaving. So burn the boats so there's no way out.
There's no exit strategy. There's no way to retreat if you don't have. If you went to somebody's house and you blew your car up, you're gonna have a hard time getting back where you came from, right?
Got
so
you.
same premise.
See, me, I listen to the Rocky Balboa soundtrack, bro. That's gonna make me. That's my motivation. I get crunked up as DMX. DMX are the Rocky Balboa soundtrack.
Don't say DMX too loud. That's White Mike's old fight song, bro. You put some DMX on, you're gonna be out in the parking lot looking for a fight right now.
DMX will get you there, man. You want to get you some DMX, but I'm gonna just tell you, if you haven't heard that Rocky soundtrack, man, there's like 6 songs on there that just get you right, just put you right.
Oh yeah.
Just put you right.
And then especially when they put like words from the movie over, like you can't win, right?
Yeah, you can't win. Yeah, that song, "There's No Easy Way Out." That's one of the ones that get me.
Yeah, I think we're aging ourselves right now. You can tell exactly when we were born.
Man, that's okay. Hey, what motivates me? I don't know what motivates others, but that motivates me. I'm just throwing it out there. If you ever want to try it, throw on that Rocky and see what happens with you.
Yeah.
So you said. Oh, go ahead, man.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother.
I was just saying, you said you got my man in the building today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we got Berto, and I'm trying to find his graphic here. I thought I had his graphic. We got the Ask Berto segment. We like to come on. We like to hack the brain. We're gonna kind of do some little bit of talking about how to hack the brain chemicals, and we're kind of going to talk about some things that I know that I do to my family or otherwise. We're just going to talk about some of that just to give some people some tools. So without further ado, let's bring on J. Alberto Fight. Combat veteran, multiple deployments, now a licensed clinical social worker, helping all kinds of veterans. One of my best friends in the world. He's a knockaround guy. Alberto Fight.
What's up, brother?
What's up? Hey, I got a couple comments because I've been hearing in the backstage. Number one, now you're already over the hill, bro. You take a shirt off, you're gonna break a hip trying to mess with the young bucks, bro.
They ain't ready, bro.
No, they're not, Berto, because these young bucks don't fight these days, man.
I don't have to lift heavy weights anymore. I lift them heavy guns now, baby. I lift them heavy rounds, bro. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Heavy rounds of what?
30-06, 308, 50 cal, whatever is needed.
Whatever is needed. All right. And Royalty, I got to tell you, man, I don't know why I went on like an 80s, 90s kick recently, and I was listening to Candyman, Ain't No Shame in My Game.
Yeah.
Bro, that voice, I was like, dude, is that Royalty right there? Like, y'all got the same raspiness, man. Like,
yeah.
It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
Like only the Candyman.
I got to tell you guys, I'm repping all over the place, right? So thanks to you guys, I have my TTV shirt, so I'm repping.
Oh yeah, that's you got a pretty significant number. What does that number say? 00001. You were the first guest we brought on after we did our bio four bio episodes.
You number one, brother.
Thank you. And this is for Tom. I found this in my home office.
Oh wow. Do you see what's in behind my shoulder here?
Yep.
Yeah, that was upstairs. So we my S6 shops Berto and my S6 shops were always called the knockaround guys because we would put a whooping on you and tell you about how we did it.
So put one on you and then tell you how we did it.
Yeah. So let's talk about a couple of resources. I hear you guys talking about losing some weight. Number one, you may want to check out the National Institutes of Health, NIH. They have a body weight calculator. It is scientific. Man, you put in your height, your weight, like your goal weight, when you want to hit that goal weight, and it will tell you the thing that we all know but refuse to do. Calories in, calories out.
Right.
That is 50% of all potential weight loss. Right.
You got to have more going out than you got coming in, right?
Exactly. Right. So if you're munching on Popeyes 3 times a week, right, that's going to put you in the 1,200 to 1,500 calorie for that meal. For most men, we only need 2,000 calories, right? So calories in, calories out. Then the other component is, where are the nutrients coming from, right? So 30% of your maximum potential weight loss comes from knowing your macros, knowing your fat, your protein, and your carbs. But also it comes from calories in, calories out. So, and if you don't believe me, go read Renaissance Periodization by Dr. Mike. He's all over YouTube. He's a professional bodybuilder. He was contracted by the CrossFit Corporation, and he did a lot of nutrition plans for a lot of their athletes. Now, at our age, and I'll date myself, I don't care, I'm 47. At our age, it's important to eat more protein than we would normally have in our 20s. Right around the age of 50, we tend to start losing protein. We start losing muscle mass. And the only way to retain that muscle mass is to consume more protein than you did, 10, 15 years ago. The other stuff, like Al Hero was saying, your sleep, right? Sleep percent, you're getting your rest, getting your recovery, right? So if you struggle with sleep, think of it as recovery. Right, your body needs to regenerate those cells and that energy that it expended. That's about 10% of your potential weight loss.
Now, question I have with that: when you say the protein, right? When you say that you had the protein intake has to be higher, is it a certain kind of protein? Because there are some proteins that could be bad for you, like too much red meat, right? Because I'm a steak kind of guy, but I was told that eating red meat or that kind of steak is not good for me. So. Right. Is a specific protein? Should we go to the natural proteins like the meat, or should it be like in the powder form, like protein drinks, or how do you get that? And even a lot of people now are not doing meat, right? So they're doing the total veggie,
Right.
So how do they get those
Mm-hmm.
proteins then?
So if you're going meatless, you are going to have to take supplements. There's just no way around it.
Got it.
For regular protein, I do a mix of chicken, and like when I'm really trying to cut down calories, I only eat chicken breast. And if I need to supplement, I do a protein shake. So the key, at least for me, is I try to eat 1 gram of protein per pound that I weigh. So if I'm on a weight loss journey, this week my protein intake is going to be higher than next week, and so forth until I get to my goal weight.
Gotcha.
Some of the people on this that are watching, like Kevin Cash, when you say protein, you have to specify chicken, because he'll be out there messing with lady boys and all kind of stuff trying to get his protein through the tube. That ain't gonna work, Kevin. That's not the same kind of protein, bro.
Right. Actually, if you take the Whole30 approach, right? Like, here's the thing, man. As a fat dude and as somebody who got weighed and taped damn near every friggin' month that I was in this service, right? I can tell you, I've done a ton of research on this. I've done the Whole30. I've done the keto. I've done, straight up dieting, counting calories. And I'm gonna tell you, the only thing that was effective for me was keto, because I was diagnosed with diabetes, and keto is the only diet that can not reverse, but it can lower your numbers to pre-diabetic numbers. And in my experience, it was like 60 days. My doctors were shook that in 60 days, I got my A1C from a 9 point something to about a 4.1.
Right.
60 days is all it took. But here's the key. You got to know what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
everybody thinks, oh my God,
up,
especially in Texas and in Florida, everybody's thinking, oh man, I can eat all the bacon I want. I can eat all the red meat I want. I can eat cheese. Nah. If you're doing keto right, you're not eating that stuff. You're not doing stuff that's going to clog up your arteries, because that's the biggest concern that doctors have right now with keto. But if you do clean keto, you get most of your fat from plants. Macadamia nuts is probably the best source of fat, plant fat. You stick to the pistachios are kind of higher in carbs, but you can mess with that if you know your ratios, right? Your macros.
Avocados.
Avocado is perfect. Anything that is natural, that is what you want to shoot for, and non-meat, right? Because that's where people get in trouble, and that's where you start having a lot of cardiovascular issues down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I needed to chime in a little bit. I hear you, Ty. I think, what you were talking about, Royalty, about having an accountability buddy. I think that's important. But here's the key. Y'all can't be motivated at two different times, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
When I call you, you need to answer if
Right.
you're my accountability buddy, right?
Right.
So, choose wisely. Now, I did want to address a couple of things that Ty specifically asked me to cover the brain chemicals and how to hack them, right? But I want to
hold on 1 second, Berto, because we have a question from the listeners here. This is from Morgan Cash.
Okay.
I talked to my therapist about this, but curious on your take. Aside from knowing I needed to make a job change, what's your best advice or go-to methods to share when it comes to the slow burn of hating your job? I tried to adopt reframing and changing my mind frame, but I hate everything to I hate this moment, but it doesn't stick. I suffer from this too, so please wax poetic.
The last 30 days, I experienced this to a point. Here's what I will suggest is looking at the verbiage that you're using to describe the situations, right? Accurate language is potentially the most important thing that anybody can do. So when we use language like I hate everything, there's got to be at least one little thing,
Right.
one person that you like. So that statement cannot be true.
Right.
Okay. So that being said, that's step number one. Step number two is find tasks that you enjoy doing, right? And maybe even pitch them to your supervisor. When people are engaged and they're doing the activities that they enjoy and are allowed to flourish, then that attitude will start changing slightly. So for example, I'm trying to remember one of the situations that we had in Iraq where that came up. Oh, the two quote unquote dipshit twins, that, as we like to call them, came up with a brilliant idea. And Ty was like, all right, fine, go execute, go make that happen. And then when they came back, they had smiles on their face. They failed miserably, by the way, but they came back with smiles on their face. They were super pumped and motivated to do other things. And, it's finding those small things like you guys have full-time jobs, and yet you find yourselves doing this podcast because this is something you enjoy. Right. And so think about the tasks that you truly enjoy. I hate with a passion administrative work. Well, guess what? My employer changed the time card software. So today we close time cards tomorrow, and for 3 hours today, I'm trying to figure out this new software. That is not the stuff that brings me joy.
Right.
When I saw one of my clients today, that brought me joy. Right. I got to wax poetic with him. He's an 80-year-old Vietnam era vet, homeless, trying to help him out, trying to get housing, trying to get his mental health straight. But it's one of those things where, with him, I'm kind of diverting, and I apologize. So number one, look at the language that you're using to describe situations or to talk about the situations. And then number two, try to find tasks that within your scope that you find enjoyable, that could potentially start that itty bitty turnaround. And like DJ Royalty said, you got to take the wins, man, no matter how big, no matter how small. But the small ones are the important ones, because at the end of the day, they become the big wins.
Yeah.
And the big wins become gigantic wins. But you got to start with that first step.
That's good stuff.
Morgan, I hope that answered your question to the best of his ability. I mean, that was impromptu. That sounded great to me.
The key thing I picked up from that, what Berto said in that, is, like you said, you have to. It's easy to, when you're mad at everything, it's easy to say, like you said, I hate everything. I'm pissed off about everybody. I don't like nothing. But if people, what they're looking for in that is people to say, you know what, me too, right? Because you're looking for agreeance, right? Because if somebody can agree with you, then it makes that effect different. But like Berto was saying, if you're able to break it down and say, nah, that's not true. You don't hate everything, because there's something you like. You still like strawberries. You still like this. You still like a good joke. You still like a good smile. So think about those things. And what we do as people, I think, is so easy for us to get encumbered by the negative stuff that we don't see any positives. And then we can get to a way in your mind that you can just focus on the positives, the things that make you happy, that make you smile, even if it's an old time. If you can focus on those things, they will pull you out of the rut. Because the only thing that kills a bad day is a big smile, right? Something that can make you smile, something that can make you laugh, something that can bring you joy. Joy overpowers the sorrow. So you have to look for the things that bring you joy. So I did pick that point up from you, Berto. And I would just say for who was that? Morgan that brought that in. I know it seems crazy now and terrible now, but I know there are some things, Morgan, that you like. I'm gonna tell you one. You like the podcast because you're here. So hopefully we bring you joy and get your mind off of the bad stuff that's going on at work. So we're behind you.
If they want to double jammy, just go ahead and eat some strawberries while in the comments that you like strawberries.
I mean,
so.
my brother said he likes beer, nicotine, monsters, and a B12 vitamin on occasion. Apparently, I mean, all right, man. Like,
man, you know what brought me joy? Cinnamon bears. That is my
what?
Cinnamon bears, man, was my favorite.
Oh,
thing.
like the
little
hot tamales.
Oh,
The hot tamales are my jam too, bro.
Yeah, that's where I got all my weight from, man. I'm telling you, just my own vice. I gained all this weight. I got to a point where I was eating 5 pounds of cinnamon bears a day, if you can believe that. I couldn't find them anywhere, so I would go on eBay or Amazon, and I would just order the 5 pound bag of cinnamon bears just so I have enough for my mind felt like I was going to be okay. I broke that, but it was bad.
Cinnamon bears.
Yeah, that's how it was, man. And I had other people like, man, hey Blake, you got any of them cinnamon bears that you bring?
Got them on a spoon. Your main vein of cinnamon.
Yeah, so I'm glad.
I feel like I do that with cheeseburgers. Like, no shit. Like, this is a big deal for me to say this because for the longest time I enjoy being a big dude because I am big. But man, I'm telling you what, me being overweight and being out of shape and not being the superhero that I assumed that I was or I perceived myself as, that has made me isolate. It has taken away from my family, even though I have a good family life. I mean, it's good, but it could be so much better. I realized after going out to the Houston Livestock and Rodeo show that I don't go out that much, because I'm either working or I go to the VFW, which is a safe little space. Ooh, I cannot believe I just used that word. My bad, Al. I did not mean to use safe space. Fuck that. Anyway.
Try that.
It's a space that I've reconned multiple times, and I feel secure there. So, anyway, but this is something we got to do, man. And and go ahead. What were you going to talk about with the brain chemicals, Berto?
Well, no. Now I want to feed off of that real quick. So one of the things that we notice is when vets leave the service, they're like, "Fuck this! I ain't working out no more. I'm done. Ain't nobody gonna make me. I ain't waking up at no 5:30 in the morning."
That freshman 50, bro. That retirement 50.
The retirement 50. That's exactly what that is, right? So again, right, we are not wired to do things we don't like, right? And think about what if you view evolution with evolutionary psychology, it tells us that all of our emotions are natural for a reason, and they all served a purpose at one point, right? Well, it's the same thing with food, right? The reason carbs are so addictive, right? And particularly all the corn crap and corn syrup and all that shit, is because our bodies are trained to say, "Ooh, carbs, that gives me energy. Let me eat a shitload now because I don't know when I'm going to eat next." Today, in this world, the vast majority of people do not have that problem. I can go to the grocery store right now and get whatever the hell I want and come back, right?
Right.
And you're right, DoorDashing, right? COVID made DoorDashing much easier, or ordering stuff. That's also an issue. My wife and I have also fallen in that trap of like, hey, it's 6:30. What are we going to eat? I don't fucking know. You want to order?
There you go.
Right. So a lot of it comes out of convenience. Humans will tend to do things out of the path from the path of least resistance.
You're right. You're right.
And so, So now, if you guys are okay, I'm going to transition a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that we discussed how do we define a problem, right? When we're talking mental health, when we're talking addiction, doesn't matter. How do we define a problem? I asked 5 simple questions. Number 1, has your behavior caused you legal issues? Has your behavior caused you relationship issues, family, significant other, kids, right? Are they nagging you to change a behavior? Number 3, is has it caused any health issues, right? So I'm not, we all know the consequences of drinking, but many of us don't know that it causes 8 forms of cancer, starting from the throat all the way down to the stomach, right? Basically, anything that touches alcohol can cause that. So there's some recommended low risk limits, but alcohol is no longer considered no risk. Okay. So we talked about interpersonal problems, legal problems, financial problems. Are you spending way more money than you need to be on whatever that behavior is, right? Legal, personal, health, and then is there any other category where this behavior has caused issues? The last question, in case on any of those are no, is can you stop this behavior when you're being told to stop it?
Like cold turkey, just stop it?
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
wow. Yeah.
So let's say, I'll give you a prime example, right? When I got my DUI back in 2010, the judge said, you ain't drinking for a year, you're on probation. I kept drinking. That's when I knew, okay, this might be a freaking problem. I got a judge telling me I'm about to go do a year in jail if I get caught drinking, and here I am drinking again, right? So do I drink? Yes. Do I drink in moderation? Absolutely. I measure all my drinks. I drink no more than 3 to 4 in one session. And my sessions typically are every 3 to 4 months, right? Maybe, sometimes even longer. So like right now, I'm planning to have some drinks for Memorial Day because I got some boys coming in and we're going up to Lake Tahoe and doing the Cali thing, right? So I know there's going to be drinking, right? But I'm going to be monitoring how much I'm drinking so that I'm not going into excess. Now, what is excess? The CDC tells us that excess for alcohol is for a healthy man under the age of 60, no more than 5 drinks in one drinking session.
Fuck those.
Right.
Drinks.
And we're talking measured drinks, Al. Measured. Not that self-pour bullshit, right?
What?
Just because you got a 30-ounce Yeti don't mean that it needs to be 15 ounces of booze.
Right.
So, and for women, it's 3 drinks. And the European model is actually telling us that even for men, we should limit to 3 drinks in a week, right?
Wow.
Like, yeah, they're getting really strict on it. And so it's about preventative medicine at the end of the day, right? Now, if you have, I hear you, but 24 hours, Kevin, 24 hours. And that don't mean you start drinking at 11 because at midnight you got another 3 drinks, drinks. So keep that in mind, right? So if we ask these questions and the answer is yes to any of them, then we can define the behavior as a problem, right? Whether it's anger outbursts, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugging. Now I just learned about a new drug called pink cocaine, which is methamphetamine, Molly, and what's the other one? And ketamine and or heroin mixed together, and you snort it.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Yes,
yeah.
that sounds crazy. So
Berto, let me say this real quick before I forget, Scott. So do you want to? I don't know if I'm going to cause you to have a nightmare tonight, but didn't you used to have a reoccurring dream about black tar heroin?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I remembered you telling me back in the day about a reoccurring dream with black tar heroin.
I had two reoccurring dreams. One was that I owned a bakery, and when I would finish baking the donuts, I would put black tar heroin inside the donut.
Damn.
And that's how I kept the customers coming back.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Right? The other one is car related. I had a recurring dream that I was in a red convertible driving down PCH, and I would lose control of the car and go over the cliff. So to this day, even though I live in California, I own a convertible. It ain't red.
Right. That's crazy. So out of those things that you said, Berto, you saying if they're causing you, because I'm gonna go somewhere with this. So you're saying how you know that you have a problem is if it's causing you financial burden. Is that one?
Yes.
Financial burden. What was the other ones?
Interpersonal.
Relationship
issues.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
legal trouble.
Yep.
Consequences.
Yep.
Right. So like weight gain, for example, as we're talking about that would be, eating habits would be the behavior.
So then would a husband or wife fall into that category? Because some of them can cause those things. They financial problems, mental burden, You know, so cause you to drink,
Now
cause
we're talking
anger
about.
outbursts.
Hold on now.
Not mine. I'm just saying. I'm just trying.
The spouses, don't nobody make nobody drink. We make that choice.
Okay.
We make that choice, right? And one of the hardest lessons that I had to learn as a therapist is clients have the right to make bad decisions. Just because I don't agree with it, or it's not in the philosophy, or it's not in the modality that we're executing to help you change that behavior, does not mean that that person made me drink. Yeah. Only one person can push your buttons, and that's you.
That's true. What? There's other people that can push your buttons. It just matters if you, when they push the buttons, what is it? What do you do? Do you react to the button?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering. I'm just saying it for the people that's out there. I know some people say that. I don't have that problem with my wife, but but I have before. You know what I mean? In the past, I've had that where like that caused the stress of those things, cause you to do other things or isolate yourself, or get into a depressed state to where you like, you know what, I'm just gonna have a drink because I don't want to think about it, or you know what, I'm gonna go outside and smoke this joint because if I'm high, she turns into a cartoon character and I don't hear none of the stuff that she's saying, right? So those things, I was just, being an asshole a little bit, but I'm just saying all things don't have to be through food or whatever else. There's a lot of things that people deal with that cause them to feel kind of ways.
I'll say this, DJ. I think, for me, I think whatever, like Berto was saying, whether it's alcohol, whether it's food, whatever it is, I think a lot of that stuff, we use those things, right? As the reason why we do something, right? Gotcha. I'm going to use, my kids are being assholes today as, because they're being assholes, I am going to drink excessively, or I'm going to drown myself in a box of heroin covered donuts, right? Or whatever it may be. I think that mentally, I think we use those things to perpetuate the cycle of our vices, whatever that may be, right? Because I'm guilty of it too, right? There's times when I'm like, I've had one of those fucking days. All I want to do is pour me a glass of some of that delicious Kentucky bourbon, right? And the truth, and I'll have to look at myself and say, the truth of the matter is, whether I had a bad day or a good day, I really wanted a bourbon anyways. It really wouldn't have fucking mattered. I'm just giving myself an excuse.
Giving yourself an excuse.
I'm giving myself an excuse to do something
right.
that I was probably going to do anyways, but it makes me feel better. And mentally, it makes me feel warm inside.
To blame it on something else.
To push, to instead of accepting responsibility that this is what I'm doing, I'm saying I'm doing it because of this situation.
Right.
When the fact of the matter is, I was going to do that shit anyway.
Right. You know what, Al? That's perfect that you say that, because you know what you do? What I had to do, and this is my thing, man. I looked in the mirror one day with my shirt off, and I was like, what the hell? Yeah. And you want to blame it on, well, I'm retired now, so, you want to blame it on all those things. But what I had to do, I had to look in the mirror and say, you know what? My belly looks like this because I allowed that shit. Nobody didn't do it. Nobody pumped me with nothing. Hey,
yeah, now you take your shirt off and you got now you got a belly, so you take your shirt off and you got to pull the lint out your belly button. When did that shit start? I didn't used to have lint when I had a six pack. Now I got this little bit of lint. I mean, it's good in a survival situation. Like I start a fire, I need some, I'm like, boom, let's go. Let's get the flint out. But the fact of the matter is, right? So something had to happen in your life, right? For you to be like, holy shit. And then we all do, right? I stand in the mirror. I'm like, I lean forward, got the nice lighting. I'm like, ooh, I look good, right? What the comedian say? I look like I work out. Then I turn sideways and like I'm somebody that shouldn't work out because I might hurt the fucking baby, right?
Right.
Like you something has to trigger a change, whether it's a rock bottom. Some people hit rock bottom with alcohol, like Burrow said, they have a DUI, or that something happens to them where they have not just alcohol. I know we're picking alcohol. I love me some drinks, like Berto was saying. I like to have a drink and hang out with the fellas and shit. But there's other things that people have as their vice, right? And it could be anything. But I feel like sometimes people have to hit a rock. And sometimes I feel like people don't recognize that rock bottom. Like they continue to do the cycle, right? You've already fucked up. You've got a DUI, or you've lost a marriage, or you've lost your kids, or whatever the fuck it is. And you don't realize that that's your bottom, right? Like now it's time to make a change, and they just continue down that cycle, right? So I think for you, like you said, and same thing for like with this weight loss journey that we're working with Ty on, it's looking at yourself saying, I don't fucking like what I see anymore. Like this isn't who I want to be. This isn't what I want to be. This isn't what I want to, this is not me. So you have to say, all right, that's it. Brakes on. You have to change something to get different results, right? If you keep doing the same, like what is it? If you keep doing the same thing over and over,
expecting different result. That's insanity.
Right, that's insanity. Right?
You know what you do?
I'm telling you, veterans, we constantly live in insanity.
Yep.
We constantly stay in the insanity realm. For me, right?
I tell everybody this today. This is what I just thought about it. I go good with things I just think about. I challenge everybody who's listening to us today. Everybody, I want you to use your phone because you have one. Take a picture of yourself, right? Take a picture of yourself and you not give it to someone else and have them look at it. You look at yourself all the way and look at all the things that you don't like, that don't make you happy, whatever. And I want you to write on that picture. I want you to print that picture out and put it somewhere. Put it in your wallet, put it wherever. And write on there, what are you going to do about it? Because if you don't like what you see, if you don't like where you're at, the question is, what are you going to do about it? Because you can't expect somebody else to do it.
Here's the great part about that, DJ.
What's that?
There's resources like Berto, right? I may not have the ability. I may not be mentally strong enough to change my circumstance on my own.
On your own.
I may need to reach out to a Berto Fife or
that's what you do.
Another veteran brother or sister and say, hey, I'm in a fire and I don't know how to get the fuck out.
There you go.
Right? It's burning around me and I don't know how to put these flames out.
Right.
Reach out, ask for help. Say, hey, I'm here. I need help. Ask for the help, right? Use your resources because not everybody. And Ty had a guy come on. I can't remember his name. The first sergeant that was on. He was able
Smith.
to Quentin. He was like, my life was in shambles. My marriage was in shambles. My life, and I just quit and I was done.
Yep.
Not everybody's built like that. Not everybody has the ability to just change your situation and circumstances because let's face it, for me as veterans, as strong combat warriors in America's fighting forces, we've been trained and accustomed to never quit. And sometimes I feel like it's a fault. It's at a fault for us because we're all in and I'm going to drink and I'm going to party and I'm going to do drugs or I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go out and do whatever I'm going to do. And I'm not quitting because I'm a fucking warrior and nobody's going to make me stop what I'm doing. Sometimes you do have to self-reflect and take a step back and say, I can't do it on my own. I need help. That's
the reason why I say when you put it on that piece of paper, right? You see yourself on one side. On the back of that piece of paper, I'm telling you, this is the instructions I'm giving you guys. If you really want to work it, you have a picture of yourself on the front. The back is just a regular white paper. But you say on the front, I want you to write
Caucasian paper. We don't say white.
Okay. Well, I want you to write on your body over it. What are you going to do about it? But when you flip it over, that's going to be your dialogue and your small journal of what to do. Like Al said, if it's, I'm going to call my friend and see if they'll go to the gym with me, or I'm going to call, you know what I mean? But you write those things down in the back so that way, every time that you're looking at your situation and you don't like it, you have to ask yourself, you put on there, what are you going to do about it? And you flip it over and you start thinking about things that you can do and reach out. But this is the other catch. If you say, what are you going to do about it? And you don't put nothing on the back, you're not going to do anything. So it's good to have an accountability partner, but sometimes the best accountability partner that you have is yourself.
Right.
Because if you can go ahead.
Candace, this may be something that Berto can answer. Any one of us can. And for me, it's an outstanding question because I think this happens more often than we'd like to admit as veterans, right? What about the veterans that continue to reach out and continue to get shut down? For me, I would say, seek wise counsel from wise individuals, right? So for me, if I'm reaching out and I'm getting shut down by somebody, then I got to look at my circle and say, maybe this person that I'm reaching out to is not really my friend. They're not really in my circle. They're not really on my team. So I have to change teams, right? I got to pull a LeBron and jump ship and go to a different team, right? So maybe reach out to someone else, right? Find wise counsel and wise people. Find somebody who's where I always say, tell my kids all the time, find the person that's where you want to be and hitch your wagon to them, right? Or reach out to them and say, hey, how did you get to where you're at, right? Seek different counsel, right? Reach out to a different resource, right? If I'm reaching out to you and you continue to, if I'm saying, hey, and I'll give it, for instance, so I'm always going to have a drink. I love some whiskey. I love bourbon, right? But I've learned that it started becoming a little bit of an issue when I would drink excessively on, let's say, a Friday And then Saturday morning rolls around and my daughter wants to go do something or my wife wants to go out. And I'm like, fuck, I don't feel good. I don't want to do shit. And all of a sudden I'm making empty promises to people in my life that are important, whether it's Scott, I'm gonna go to the gym with you. Then I'm like, I'm hungover. Yeah, I ain't gonna make it today, bro. Not today. Tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Or, hey, babe, we're not going to the zoo today. We'll do it next week. And once you start doing that, then you got to say, oh shit, maybe I need to slow down, right? Or maybe I need to find wise counsel. So then if I'm reaching out to a buddy, I'm like, man, I'm not drinking today, man. It's today's just, and they're like, fuck that, bro. Come out. Let's do this. Then that's probably somebody I need to keep at a distance. I'll love them because they're we've got history together, whatever it is. I'm always going to be there for them. But maybe that's somebody that at this point in stage in my life that I don't need to seek as my counselor or put on my team to help me get to where I want to go. So for me, Candace, it would be, change your team if you have to, right?
Reach out to someone else.
Reach out to somebody else that's been down that road and can help you navigate those obstacles on that path, on your journey.
Yeah, because the reality is, and just being honest, sometimes the people that we put in our circle to be accountable are people that we're comfortable with. Because you think, you know what, they're going to tell me.
Misery loves company, bro.
Right. But if you're really trying to fix it, right, everybody knows somebody that's going to tell them exactly what they need to know, even though they might not want to hear it. But we tend to push those people away because you know that they're going to hold you accountable. And I would just tell you, some of the people that you're reaching out to, if they're not there, they were never the right person anyway, because if you're not a priority to them, to where they can stop for a moment what they're doing to reach out, to come back to you in your time of need or concern, then that's really not, you know what I'm saying? They can be your friend, but that's really not the one you need. And if you're in a circle of people to where you have nobody in your circle who has your best interest in hand, it's time to change that circle. You know what I mean? And like I was saying, it's time to reach different counsel. I know my wife holds me accountable because my wife will wake up in the morning. She might only sleep 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. But if she puts in her mind that she's going to get up and get on the treadmill or get on her Peloton bike or go run around the neighborhood, she will set her alarm and get up. And sometimes I feel like crap because I'll get up and I said I was going to go and I look up. My wife doesn't want to wake me up when I'm asleep. I don't know why she doesn't do it because I would get up and she woke me up. But she'll get up, creep out and be gone exercising and come back and had a full exercise. I'll be like, damn.
Yeah,
so
bro.
now I gotta go. So you have to have that accountability partner. You have to motivate yourself. You have to look at yourself and say, what are you going to do about it? And you have to be motivated to fix it. If not, it's definitely not going to change.
So,
go ahead, Berto. Sorry. Let me chime in real quick, Al.
Go ahead, Berto.
So a couple of things. One, in my program, we call it a pit crew, right? So what does a pit crew do? They support you, right? So there's a couple of life lessons here to be discussed. One, if we're all grown ass adults, right? We all claim we're grown ass men and women. We did things for pieces of cloth on our old uniforms that may or may not mean anything now. But here's the thing, right? I learned at 40, if I don't like you or you're not good in my life, guess what? There's no NCO, no officer telling me you need to interact with that person, right? So guess what? If I don't like you, I don't like your attitude, I cut you out. Now, if we're talking in a professional realm, I'm going to be courteous. I'm going to be professional, but that does not mean I have to like you.
Yeah.
Right. So that's number one. Number two, Ty, can you look up the phases of change or the stages of change? So I'm gonna change what we were gonna talk about. Here's the other component that you guys were talking about. Yes, accountability partner, all that stuff. But here's the thing that I noticed, at least for myself, and I've noticed with other people, we refuse to take responsibility for our own actions.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Nobody put a 9 in DJ's mouth saying, if you don't eat these fucking cinnamon bears,
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
That was your choice, right?
Yep.
Just like Ty with the cheeseburgers, just like with me with all the fast food and shit that I've eaten, right? It's our accountability, right? And granted, sometimes it was not knowledgeable, right? I remember, I think we've talked about this, right? Recruiters telling you to eat, drink sodium, whatever the hell, to poop at, some shit out, and then you lose like 10 pounds by the next day. Yeah, that ain't healthy, right? That ain't healthy. That ain't the way to do it. I get it though, right? Because as somebody who struggled with their weight the whole time that I was in the service, I did those body wraps, man.
Yep.
Guess what? That shit cut 3 inches out your waist.
Oh, yeah.
When you were getting paid.
I mummified some people in my day.
Right?
Yeah. Saran wrap and preparation H, baby.
Preparation
Oh,
H.
yeah. I remember that too. Yeah. Right. So a lot of times it's not about motivation. A lot of us know, right? We know that what we're doing is not right. I have never met a client who told me, man, eating 5 pounds a week of cinnamon bears is good and healthy.
Right.
Just don't happen, right? Like Al, you recognize interpersonal issues, right? Canceling plans, the wife getting upset, the kids getting upset because they didn't go to the zoo. You're canceling plans on buddies, right? So for you, it's an interpersonal area where you're like, okay, I need to make a change, right? My drinking is now getting in the way of these relationships, and I value the relationships, right? What was the other big thing that you guys just said? It's how a person approaches you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I told you, DJ, what you need to do is stop buying that shit on Amazon, you're gonna be like, fuck you, man. I'll show you I can't buy that on Amazon, right? So knowing how to approach the person and how to have that dialogue, right?
Yeah.
I think that is very important, and taking ownership for our own actions. It's called personal responsibility. I'm gonna be fine with the consequences, positive or negative, of my own actions.
Yeah.
Right. And at the end of the day, if you want a little catchphrase, I create what happens to me.
That's true.
That's your little catchphrase. Now we know there's exemptions, right? Before everybody jumps down, we know that the African American population don't get as many mortgages as the white population and the brown population. Yes, you did not create that. I got that. But when we're talking about interpersonal, relating with somebody else, I create what happens to me. So if the wife is nagging or teasing and telling you, hey, man, you got a little pot belly going on, then, how do you address that?
Right.
Right. Yep. To have a rational conversation. The main thing that I've, at least in my career, what I learned in the military is emotional thinking will get you through anything. Right. So I'm going to use anger to the best of my ability, whether it's to motivate somebody, whether it's to accomplish something I think I cannot do. Right. Like riding a bike for 100 miles, man. I was angry the whole time, right? Because how are you going to do that in 10 hours, right? But here's the thing. Emotional thinking or emotional decision-making does not lead to rational decision-making. How many of us have left a job on the spot because we did not like what something was said? Instead of saying, hey, man, can we have a conversation about this? I don't think I agree with this. But instead, we overreact. We let that emotional brain take over. Right? Or you let anger come in and take over. It's an unmet need. You're not being heard. You're not being fed, right?
Yeah.
We all know
the limbic part of your brain.
Yeah. So we need to use more of the rational brain. So we need to be able to slow things down so that your brain has time to process. So if you think about the fight or flight system, right? I got some at least Al, I know you were an operator, DJ. I don't remember what you did in the military.
Yeah, I did recruiting and I was in supply.
Okay. So Al, I'm going to use this example for you, right? So when you're an operator, you need to make decisions on the fly, right? Everything else be damned. Mission is the focus, right? Well, we need to take more of a feminine perspective. The feminine perspective says it's not just that the mission got done. It's that how it got done is equally important, right? So if you are instilling fear in your service members or in your employees, that's not going to bode well for you.
Right.
Because guess what they're going to do? They're going to continue doing all the shit you told them not to do when you ain't around. And this also works with kids, right? So think about what we did as kids, man. Anybody challenge me, I'm telling you, I would do exactly what they told me I couldn't do, right? And we can use that as motivation. But, keep that in mind, man. We make emotional decisions, but the rational decisions are the best ones. Right, we tend to make better decisions when we're rational. Talking about.
So, would you say that I'm someone that's motivated? I've always joked, and I think it's probably about 95% true. I'm motivated by anger. That's what gets the mission done with me. Or anger over not getting the mission done perfectly. I'm one of those type of people. So, what did I convey as a leader in the military? Not as personal, because I know personally with you, I was like a teddy bear, but like. In the military, what was I like?
The term that keeps coming up when anybody discusses you is abrasive, right? But here's the thing. You were not really truly abrasive. You were direct. And there's a big difference. And again, it's how the mission gets done that's equally as important as the mission getting done. So it's not about like, oh, Ty, I need you to go do this for me, please. Right? No, like in a combat situation, we don't have that, right? But there's ways to communicate, right? Like I remember one of our not best conversations, but one of the funniest things that I remember is when I had to go to Herat to go get ComSec, and you're like, hey, go find the tallest building, go look for a shack, and go look for Sergeant First Class such and such. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? We're the Army, man. We're the U.S. Army. We're the most powerful military in the world. And that's the best intel you're going to give me? Go to the tallest building with a shack on the roof. Right? But it got done. Right? And I think that was the difference, with the way you and I connected was a much different level. We had you could consider it trauma bonding or definitely suck bonding, right? And what I mean by that is in Afghanistan in 2005, it was me, you, an E4 that might as well not been there, and a SIGO that might as well not been there. So me and Ty did all the work. But guess what? We loved what the fuck we were doing, man. We didn't bitch and complain. We bitch and complain about our coworkers, but not about the job itself. We enjoyed it, right?
I bitch and complained to you. I don't think I bitched and complained to a single person in the chain of command about either one of those two guys. I mean, I actually liked them very much, but
yeah,
they didn't work well.
The attitude that gets us in trouble in the civilian sector, right? We keep our feelings inside. We don't know how to express our feelings, and some of us don't even know how to identify those feelings that we're experiencing, right? How challenging is it to tell you, hey, man, I'm getting really frustrated right now. I need a timeout. Many of us don't say that. What we'll do is we'll try to overpower the situation with anger to end it, because what we want is that situation to be done with, right? So learning that active listening, reflecting. And DJ, you've been doing a wonderful job. You and Matt, ever since I came on the first time to now, every time I catch a podcast, you guys do a wonderful job of reflecting what it is that person's trying to say, and sometimes even take it a little bit deeper. And that is what the conversation should be, right?
Yeah.
You should not be telling somebody else to do something.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm one of those people that think, I try to come with a solution because everybody can bring problems, but not everybody can bring the solution. And sometimes is listening to what the actual problem is and processing it to someone's need to come up with a solution that will fit their situation. Right. And those things are different because everything doesn't fit in one basket. You can't give everybody the same basket and think that everybody likes bananas, oranges, and everything that's in the basket. Some people are like, this is a great basket, but I don't like the bananas, but I will eat the oranges and I will eat this part of it. You know what I mean? But I don't like everything. But out of respect, I'm not going to just throw the whole basket away because there's two things in it I don't like. I'm just going to take the things that I like and maybe offer the stuff that I don't to someone else. I'll disperse of it, right? But then there's some people you give in a basket, they're like, oh, this is wonderful. I love everything in this basket. But that's not how the world works all the time. So the solution is, when you come up with these things, and part of this podcast I have is all of us, we have something in common, whether being civilian. The thing we have in common is that we all are human, right? We all have different jobs and different things, but we're all human and we're all sharing this space, and we all have problems. We all have situations. We all have things that we're trying to overcome. We have things that we like. We have things that we dislike, but individually with all of us here, we can try to feel things that will work, in a majority based off the problems and the conversation that we're talking about. So that's one thing that I love about this podcast and bringing you on here, Berto, and having these people on here, because we have so many different professional perspectives that we can utilize to help out somebody who may be in need. And if you help one, then hey, that's a plus, and that's the goal.
So what's funny too, Scott, as you were saying, like, and to be completely honest, sometimes somebody doesn't necessarily want to get fixed.
Right.
Sometimes I don't want your basket. I just want you to let me talk about the basket, right? I don't like, my wife tells me that all the time. Like, sometimes I don't need you because we're problem solvers, right? We're
Yeah.
fixers.
Yeah.
I don't need you to fix this situation. I just want you to listen to me.
Listen to it, right?
And hear me out. So sometimes, especially as veterans, sometimes, we don't necessarily. I don't necessarily want you to tell me how to fix it. I just want you to listen,
acknowledge it,
acknowledge that. Hey, I'm voicing that I have an issue, or I'm voicing that here's what's going on. I don't need you to fix it. I just want you to listen to me, right? So sometimes I think, that gets lost too. Like I think it turns a lot of veterans off from going and seeking counseling from people like Berto, or because they're like, man, I don't want to go in there and talk to this person because they just want to fix me. They're going to try to tell me, do these breathing techniques, right? All that's helpful. But sometimes all you want is someone to listen and to hear what you have to say. And then right, offer some advice. Don't tell me, hey, here's what you have to do, or here's what you need to do. Right? Hey, you can try these things. Right? You can try these, but sometimes you just want somebody to listen to you. Really, I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to, right?
Right. And so here's what I will tell you: save your money if you're coming to me be the friend that listens to you.
Yep.
That's not what therapy is.
Correct. 100%. 100%.
And so my job is to tease out what it is that you're trying to tell me, and then I'm going to offer potential solutions, right?
Right.
But what did Thomas Edison say about the light bulb, right? How many times did he try?
Right.
Tried 999 times, and he didn't fail. He found 999 ways that it did not work.
Didn't work, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that is the key, right? It's logging. It's making sure you're taking notes. Like if you're dealing with like anger or depression, right? Noting maybe hourly how your mood is from a scale of 1 to 100, right?
Yep.
So now you can go back and see if there's a pattern. Is it a particular day? Was it an anniversary? Is it a particular time, right? Once you have that data, that helps the clinician or the therapist to provide you with tools that may or may not work. But the key is, a lot of people think just going in and talking is, getting shit off your chest is going to work. Guess what? That don't work. Right. Because I still have those thoughts going up in here. So you need to be able to change your thinking process. That's what cognitive behavioral therapy is for. Emotional regulation, you got STARE, you got dialectical behavioral therapy, right? There's so many modalities that are evidence-based. We know they work. But here's the key. The work does not happen in the session. The work happens when you do the homework.
Once you leave it, right. Once you start
where the work happens.
Right. When you start trying to apply the things that you've been taught. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I interject for 1 second?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to speak directly to the camera because I'm going back and looking at the chat here.
Yeah.
Let me find this. Where is this question? Here we go. White Mike says he was making some comments, asking a bunch of questions. Someone asked him, "You all right?" He says, "I don't understand what's going on." So here's what's going on. Okay, so our podcast is based on the fact that we are a bunch of people that I deployed 7 times. Berto deployed 2 of those times with me. Al deployed a bunch of times. Scott's deployed. Matt's deployed. We've been all across the world and we have experiences. So most of the time we just get on here and we're fun. We interview people. We talk about stuff. But the key to what we want is change.
Right.
And whether it's me with my weight, whether it's someone with some affliction they have, something that's holding them back from the quality of life that they may want, that's what's going on here. Now, Berto was a soldier in the Army. He was a 25 uniform with me. We deployed together a couple of times, but he went on and got a master's degree in social work. He is a licensed clinical social worker. So the terms that he's bringing up are not just his opinion. These are fact-based analysis, things from big-ass thick books that I have not read. And I literally call him as counsel. Like he's someone that I seek out if I'm struggling with something. So that is what's going on. Like most of the time we're going to be having fun on here. But sometimes we may get a little bit serious and do some actual therapy whenever Berto can give his time. And
today, 3 things. You're going to do this for 30 days, and you cannot repeat one thing that you are thankful for. On the 30th day, write a letter to the person that is the most important in your life, that you are grateful for that they are in your life. And then the assignment is read it to them.
Oh, that's hard. That's an emotional piece, man. I'm gonna tell you that'll get you.
But we tend to focus, right? So going back to evolutionary psychology, what we're talking about when we talk about these moods that overwhelm is the brain does not want to highlight the good. It wants to highlight the bad because that's how it protects you, right? So when we experience anger, for example, right, or anxiety, how long does the fight or flight system kick in? How long does it stay engaged? You guys know?
15 minutes?
Nope. 15 seconds.
Yeah.
15 seconds. If you continue engaging with the perceived threat, then yes, it will continue to extend 15 to 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds. But the standard, if you identify that you're experiencing fight or flight and you can walk away from the situation or remove yourself from the situation, your fight or flight response will go away because you're no longer perceiving that threat.
No, it's funny, bro. Is the letter thing?
Hang on, hold on 1 second now. Hey, Morgan, emotional and hard makes me feel insincere, like I'm grasping. Just like Scott said earlier, if you find one little thing that you make better today, you're not grasping, you're improving.
Right.
So no more of that negative thought. Positive thought, positive in, positive out. I'm sorry, I'll go ahead, brother.
No, the letter thing works. And what we did, so when I went inpatient for Emerald Coast for PTSD, so during that 45 days, when you get there, the first thing they make you do is I'm like, this is stupid as hell. You write a letter to yourself and they mail it. And then on your last day, right, once you've had all the tough times, you write another letter and you mail it to yourself. And it's eye-opening to see, the initial, right, what you think, what you feel, what's going on, and then see the one, the second letter. So, I mean, like with Ty, like, you want to lose weight. It sounds cliche. Write yourself a letter on your goals and what you want to do and why. And at the end of, mail it to your wife, mail it to yourself. But it helped me a lot to look back and read that first letter, because they mail it like you get out 30 days, you get the first letter. And then like 60 days or whatever it is, right, you get the second letter. And it was really like eye-opening to read both my letters and be like, damn. Right?
Yeah, because you can find that
right.
Yeah, you can find that, man. Sometimes you what you're saying, sometimes what you're portraying and saying and what you're actually doing are really different.
Yeah, my perspective was
really different.
Was very like tunnel vision. Right when I came in, I was angry as shit. I'm like, I don't need to be here. This is all crap. Y'all ain't gonna teach me shit. I'm not gonna learn nothing. Fuck you. Like the whole right. And your perspective changes as you're open to change, or you're open to let those things that you're learning work. Right. You're open to trying new things. You're open to. I mean, we were doing shit like art therapy, which I was like, this is stupid. Now I love it. Right. We were doing yoga. And I'm like, I ain't doing no damn yoga. I'm a grown ass man, bro. But all those little things, right? The physical side, the mental side, it really it was great to see that transition. Right now, it doesn't mean that like you said, it requires work. So after that second letter, I fell off quite a bit, right? Whatever. But, I just didn't put the work in that I needed to. But yeah, absolutely. It was eye-opening to read the first one and then read that second one, especially after I had been out of that controlled, very structured environment. Now I'm back out here with the, amongst the wolves. Right. So it was a little bit different. It was cool to see.
Right. Yeah. It just goes back to the thing, man. Like, when you really pinpoint who you are, right? A lot of us men, right? We feel the kind of way about our daughters, right? But when you really think about it, do you treat other women the same way that you treat your daughter?
Right.
And that answer most of the time is no. But the reality of it is that daughter one day is going to be somebody's woman. And what we are showing them as a dad is going to carry throughout their whole lives. So sometimes we speak these things. We got people say, you know what, if somebody says something inappropriate to my daughter, I'll kill that MFer, right?
Yeah.
But then we go to the thing and smack a lady on her butt, or you know what I mean, say inappropriate things to them. So are we really being that person?
What's worse though is this question, Scott, my wife asked me this, right? And during, and I have my, Kevin touched on it earlier. Like he has anger issues that he deals with on a regular basis. And that's his thing he's dealing with. I was kind of the same way, right? I had two emotions. I'm either pumped up and happy and joking with everybody, or I'm pissed off all the time. And my wife was like, would you want your daughter to marry a man like you? And that was a very,
It's
very
eye
hard.
opener.
That was a hard question because I'm thinking,
Right.
man, I love my daughter unconditionally, and that's my best friend, and I would burn this whole world down for her. But would I really want her to marry a man like me, or to be in a relationship with a man like me? And it was hard to answer that question. But the fact of the matter was, at that stage in my life, absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not. The way I talk about, joke about women or whatever. If a dude came in and was talking about my daughter, like, even the way I joke, I would he'd be
There you go.
He'd be
And that's
picking
why
up
I
broken
said-
teeth with broken fingers immediately, right?
Right.
So
And
yeah, I
that's-
mean,
Yeah. What do
go
you
ahead, Bert.
feel
Sorry.
about it?
No, you're bringing in something that's very, very interesting, right? So, living life true to our values and morals, right?
Right.
While we're in the service told us what our morals were and what our
Right.
tenets are,
Yeah.
right? Like, I still remember leadership, right? Like, that was the
Core
Army thing, right?
values, right?
Yeah, the core values, right? So one of the questions that, I ask people is, are you living life true to your values? Period. And if you're not, then we need to make a change,
There you
right?
go.
It's that plain and simple. I think there's Ty, can you pull up that graphic of the stages of change?
Yeah. Some reason I saved it as an overlay, so hopefully you can make
It's
do.
all kind of come up on the thing a little
Sorry
bit.
about that.
All right, I got you. All right.
Berto got his Coke. He got his Coke bottles on. He can see it. He good.
That's right. All right. So stage one is pre-contemplation. So what does that actually mean? That means that we're going through life. Nothing's a problem, right? Everything's gravy. You get into contemplation. Something happened. You got pulled over by cops and you were like, oh shit, I hope they don't breathalyze me. That might lead you to contemplation, right? Or your wife telling you, man, why the hell are you so damn angry all the time? That might lead to contemplation. Okay. The next phase is pre-contemplation. This one's a little bit different. So determination, this is the work. This is where you start like really putting the plan together. I'm going to lose 5 pounds by the end of the month, right? That's a very realistic goal. So you want to start setting SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and timely. So if I were to ask Ty, what would be your SMART goal when it comes to losing weight? Because losing weight is very broad.
It's a broad
right?
thing. Yeah.
So let's narrow that down. Let's be very specific. How are you? How
What
will
are you
you
going to put in
specify
place? Yeah.
your goal?
What are you going to put in place to lose these 3 pounds or 5 pounds, right?
Right. So what would be your
You want
goal?
me to answer? Oh, so
No. I was just going by what he was saying. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I realized you have to have an answer, but the funny thing is I realized that I'd never implemented that answer.
yeah.
The answer before was always just go to the O course 3 times a week, do extra PT, kill yourself, wear a bag around your waist so you'll lose weight, or, all those tricks, all those things, instead of stop eating like I did when I was a teenager.
Okay. So
I
on your
still
weight
eat
loss
like I was.
journey, how do we specify your goal?
Well, the specificity for me is set by Sarah because she wants me to go on a program to eat certain food, like an intermittent fasting is the program we've chosen. My window is 11 to 6. I can eat 3 meals during that window. It's the E2M, so it's good food prepared. It's meal prepped. That's the biggest thing for me, is because I get lazy and I'm sitting right there. That's my desk. That's my work desk. And then I come here to have fun. And then I go out there and I'll probably eat a cheeseburger. So let's
reel it all the way back. What is your goal for the next 30 days?
My goal is to make it to my doctor's appointment next Monday, see what they say to me about surgery. And then as soon as that's done, I'm sharing my plan with them. I'm getting my everything read from the blood work and everything I did today. And then I'm going to implement a very light weight regimen. And then I plan to go live to do a bunch of cardio walking because I know I can't run. That kind of thing. Is that what you're asking?
You're falling into the trap that all veterans fall into.
I see where you got
You're going all the way over here.
Yeah.
How much weight can you potentially lose in the next 30 days? That's your specific.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's not the how.
I thought you were asking me the plan. I'm sorry.
No. We ain't there yet.
Yeah, not even there. Yeah.
You got to set the goal before you can, actually problem solve. So we know that a healthy weight loss is about 1 to 2 pounds a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? That's healthy, right? So would you be willing to say that your goal in 4 weeks is to drop 4 pounds?
Yes. Yes. 5 pounds.
So now we made it specific and we made it measurable. How are we going to measure that? You're going to weigh tomorrow morning, and then 30 days from that day, you're going to weigh again.
Yeah.
That's how we measure it.
Wait, I weigh 358 pounds right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And even
I wrote this down. 22 February, 358 pounds.
Yep. And even more than that, though, Ty.
So we specified it, right? Now we gave it a measurement.
Yeah.
We gave it a timetable, right? We said in the next 30 days, you're going to drop 4 pounds. You're going to attempt to drop 4 pounds, right? But here's the kicker. What are you going to do when you only drop 2?
Probably curse. I don't know.
Celebrate that success, right?
You need to celebrate.
Celebrate that.
You know what? I made some changes, and this week or this month, I dropped 2 fucking pounds.
Yep.
I'm 256 now.
Yep. And if I drop 2 doing this, if I double that, there's no way I can't lose 4 next week.
Right.
And like one thing that I caught though, Berto, is when you said, Ty, you said, hey, when I go to my appointment and they do this and they do that. Well, what can you do before you go to your appointment?
Right.
There's things that you can do before you even get there. Say, you know what, hell.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that we were talking about my brain. I thought we were talking about like safety.
Right. Yeah, just but when you put it into that, like when you make little short attainable things, everything starts with now. You know what I mean? Like what I used to do with my kids when we always watch football together, right? Or we'll watch TV. So I told them every single time a commercial comes on, we're getting down push-up position. We're doing 25 push-ups every time a commercial comes on. Right. So it got to the point where it was fun. Like we're sitting on the couch, we're watching, and then the commercial come off and the little one to jump off the couch again and push up. I'm like, oh, damn, I forgot about that. So we're doing them. Right. But before my kids were complaining that they couldn't do this many push-ups. And now you've seen BJ, right? He's on the football field tearing it up, but you install these small things and make it fun, but have somebody to do it with. They don't have to be big, drastic things. It's just that, hey, tell your wife, every time that you go to that refrigerator and you go to reach for something that's not there, blow a horn or do something or make a funny noise to where you know what I'm saying, you subconsciously realize what you're doing. And that enables the change to start, right? Because now you're worried about, I don't want my wife to make that damn noise no more. So I'm just not going to do it.
So what you're talking about is positive and negative reinforcement, right? So positive reinforcement means you're adding something because you want that behavior to continue. And this is not math. So negative does not mean it is math. Yeah. Negative does not mean that it is rude. It is
bad, right?
It's bad. What it means is you're taking something away, right? So for example, many of you guys probably learned this as a kid or as a parent of kids. You don't tell a kid, hey, go put on pajamas and go to bed. What you tell them is, which of these 2 pajamas would you like to wear to bed?
Gotcha.
So they feel like they're making
a choice, right?
And they tend to be more compliant with that, right?
Absolutely.
So I also heard I saw in the
write
chat
that
somebody
down.
talk about vulnerability, and that's one of the things that we as service members are shitty at.
Struggle with that a lot.
We don't know how to be vulnerable, right? And one of the hardest things that I had to learn is to be able to tell my wife, yo, I'm not comfortable right now. We need to leave, right? And so, you know, that takes a lot of trust, right? Because I ain't a small dude, right? I mean, I'm average height, I'm 5'7", but I'm 230 pounds, right? I ain't a small dude. And I can still throw down. At least I think I can, right?
At least you're good for at least one. You know what I'm saying?
That still works.
What did Ron White say? I don't know how many it's going to take to kick my ass, but I know how many they're going to use.
Yeah,
right.
So being able to be vulnerable and letting somebody know, especially like your significant other, man, like, you know, that's the person that in theory you should be able to express those things and not be judged. And that's the big thing. Many of us feel like we're going to be judged for the actions that we did, right? One of the stories that I relay all the time is I remember when I was on the PSD team, I got told, hey, man, you know, we don't stop, bro. We pee in bottles. I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
Hoorah.
So here we are. I'm at the turret. I got 4 human beings around me, and here
Gatorade bottle it up, bro.
Being in a Gatorade bottle. Then somebody said, you know what's a great idea, man? Let's put some Tabasco sauce in it, and then let's put the MRE heater inside of it. Shake it up and throw it to the locals.
Well, if you don't have to do that, bro, you just throw the bottle, they'll drink it. It's awesome. Those hockey kids, shit.
Those are things that I'm not proud of.
Right.
Right. But I needed to learn to be vulnerable, and that my wife was not going to judge me when I tell her those things. Those are things that I'm not proud of. We've all had to do things.
Yeah.
That's not one of the things we had to do, but we all did things that we are not proud of. Right. And guess what? They're part of us. Every experience that we've had led to the you today.
Right now. Yep. The person you
Right
are now. Yeah.
And so when we experience trauma, for example, and we, all the things that we experience, it's not about, we cannot let those experiences define you. Only you can define who you are, period. Only you can define what success looks like. So I heard Ty kind of comparing himself to maybe other parents, maybe that have kids around the same school age, or maybe parents that are of kids that your youngest is in, right? That's comparing, man. We don't do that. We don't do that. We are not supposed to do that. We determine, right? I consider myself to be one of the most successful human beings on this planet Earth, right? Why? I do what I love. I have a wonderful spouse who does what I need to do, holds me accountable, talks like a sailor, thanks to her military, not her personal military background, but her family's background, right? And she tolerates my fat ass, period, right? I curse so much and I talk so much shit, and it's, we found our balance. One of the things that we don't do, I'm trying to circle all the way back. You said, Alice, a lot of times it's about slowing down, man. It's taking accountability of the things that you have gotten and earned, and being able to say, I can enjoy this, right? The fact that I live in a pretty nice condo in one of the most expensive areas in the world, that's not success.
Right.
That's just not.
Yeah,
the fact that I bought, a couple months ago, Ty knows, I bought one of my dream cars. I have a BMW Z4 M Roadster, right? One of 5,100 in the world. Yet that's not what makes me successful.
Yep.
Yeah,
right?
but it's pretty fucking dope. I gotta admit.
I mean, yes,
Berto,
but
Chase
that's
White,
not why I do things. Right? I do things because they make me happy.
Man, well, Chase White kind of said it too. He said, vulnerability to him equals weakness for a long time, right? And he avoided it up until last year. So Chase White, I've known him for a long time. We actually talked. We talked today, actually. Congrats on getting orders to where he wants to go. But he was one of my young troops, and he's a combat veteran, right? Engineer, CB. But yeah, it's the truth. I mean, vulnerability is. Berto nailed it. It's hard. I mean, Julie mentioned it up top. We all, guys want to be, we're trained to be these macho, like, no chinks in our armor type. But the fact is, you can't, my armor may not be chinked on the outside, but there may be some chinks on the inside that you can fix, right? You can repair armor. But it does take time and it does take effort, right? And E equals R. I've always, I think that's an old Rudy saying, right, Scott? E equals R, effort equals results.
Right.
I mean, that's a factual statement, and I kind of live by that, right? E equals R. I don't do math, but that's the only math I can do. But it's a fact. Effort equals results, right? You put the effort in, you put the work in, no matter whether it's small or large, there is results at the end of that, right?
Yeah. And one thing is this too, man, is we talk about that a lot about, the military shaped me to be this way. So it's hard for me to be vulnerable. Right. But this is the real deal. Peeling everything back. Look at every scary monster. They wear a mask, right? Freddy Krueger, Jason, right? They wear a mask because they have been scarred or troubled somewhere in their early life, right? So they wear this mask because they're not comfortable being who they really are. Now, true masculinity is someone like The Rock. When you see this big old beast of a man playing with his child and loving his kid, right? That right there is more masculine to women than somebody walking around, I'll kick everybody's ass. Somebody walk up to me, I'm going to, that right there is whoop tickets, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that doesn't fix anything, right? But if you're man enough to be vulnerable enough to love and give people peace, imagine what it's like for somebody to feel like that you're unapproachable because what you look like on the outside. But they come to you and say, hey, Mr. Blake, can I have an autograph? Or, hey, Mr. Blake, would you do this for me? I say, hey, man, come on in. Man, give them a hug and make them feel warm. That is a lot better than somebody walking up to this big old guy that looks like Hulk Hogan and says, hey, little asshole, get the hell away from me. I'm Hulk. I can't, you know what I mean? So we have to get rid of that thing that tough guys rule. The tough man image rules. It's not, because at the end of the day, We all bleed. We're all going to pass away. We all have these weaknesses. But when you're comfortable enough to know that, hey, I'm not the toughest person in the world, right? I don't know all the answers, but I'm me. And I can genuinely be myself and love the way I want to love and treat people a certain kind of way, do things and hold myself accountable to who I am, right? Because one thing you said, Berto, you said, only we know the definition of who we are. But the reality is, are we really who we define ourselves to be when we write down what we are, when we define ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Because a lot of times if you look at what somebody says they are and you say, bro, that's not who you are, right? That's not, I know you, like I known you when you was a kid, bro. That's not who you are. But a lot of us, we want to put that thing because it's for everybody else. But be comfortable being yourself, hold yourself accountable, find who your genuine self is, and surround yourself with people who are okay being around you, being who you genuinely are, and you'll be okay.
How many service members do you know go get pedicures with their wife?
Shit, I'm one.
I'm one. I ain't saying
I've done it with my daughters and wives. They both like getting manicures and pedicures.
We get couples massages, we get pedicures. Like my shit, I don't want to touch my shit. Let somebody else do it. You know what I mean? And at the same time, we're there bonded. We're talking about whatever it is, making plans on vacations and all that stuff.
I would, but I got ugly toes, and I know those little.
That's why you paid them.
Hey,
That's why you paid them.
Nah, bro. The Korean people in that shop, I know they talking shit about my feet. I ain't going in there. I can't. I got once I learn Korean, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. Oh, they talking shit. They look at each other like,
Yeah.
Who cares?
But here's the thing, right? So we were talking about that uber masculine, right, persona that many of us have, right? In different rank. We all have gone through, shit. So here's the thing, though. How many of us feared that if we showed any level of vulnerability for our subordinates, that they might think that we're not capable of leading? Right. Especially if you admit that you're struggling with something like PTSD or depression, right? I can put myself back in that E1, E2 shoes, and I was not an 18-year-old rugrat. I was 27 when I went in as an E1. And I remember thinking to myself, man, this dude is losing his fucking mind. Like, I'm supposed to follow this guy? Right. And then you had the 20-year-old E5 that we promoted way too fucking quick. And I'm like, this kid don't even know what the hell Vaseline is. You know what I mean? Like, he's in charge of me? Are you kidding me? I was a store manager a year ago.
Yeah.
So
where's the line, Berto?
Second?
So an honest question is, so where's the line? So I feel like, this is just my personal opinion, that this country, this world has lost touch with masculinity, right? It's almost like a negative thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like our men, as a man, I should be a protector and a fighter and a provider for my family, and I should have some level of masculinity, right? I should be vulnerable with my family when I need to be and when it's necessary. But I feel like, where's that line, right? Because in my opinion, we've lost so much manhood. We've lost so much masculine men, and it's kind of frowned upon now, right? And I know you're in the the mental health world, right? Where is that line, right? Where how I'm gonna always be, right? Like just that's just who I am, right? But I also want to be vulnerable to my family, and there's ways to do that, but how do you not lose? Where's that line, right? You want to be mad. You don't want.
It's about balance.
Okay.
It's about balance. There is no one line that I can draw in the sand and say, if you cross over this, you've gone over the line.
Right.
Here's what I will tell you, man. Look, my wife is 33 years old. She's a grown-ass woman, and she's told me more than once when I'm about to go up and say something to somebody, she's like, I can handle this. I don't need you right now. Right? Or think about what you're going to do, because if you end up in jail, you lost a job, which means everything that we worked for is gone, right?
Right.
So it's a balance, right? There's a moment and place. Now, there's a great book called The Richer Sex by Liza Mundy. She's a freelance writer for the Huffington Post. And in it was a very anecdotal. So the sample size that she used was very small. It was about 5 or 6 friends that she had. And she noticed a trend that men were staying at home taking care of the babies while women were going to work. Now, what did we see? And I can tell you from Austin Peay State University in 2010, or I'm sorry, 2014 when I graduated in undergrad in 2015, the female population of admittance was much higher than the male population. The male population kept going down. So in 2014, they hit about, I think it was 56% women freshmen as compared to men freshmen, right? So what is Liza Mundy really trying to tell us, right? What she's trying to tell us is that roles change, right? And one of the things that I tend to do a lot is, yes, I do cite my sources because I want you guys to go look for this stuff.
Shout out Austin Peay. I know a football player going there.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir. We ain't gonna never see him on TV, but that's all right.
Hey, that's where Scott's son's going.
Scott's son signed with Austin Peay.
Yeah, going to play Austin Peay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna be a governor, huh?
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Governor.
Just tell him not to say, "Show me your." Let me show you my penis.
Hey, go ahead. I was gonna say, Al. I'll tell you. You asked about that line. Where that line is, bro. Listen, that line is somewhere between F around and find out.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Because this is the thing. You can be as kind and gentle and whatever as you want, but you know what you can do deep down inside. Mm-hmm. It's up to them to mess around and find out. Because I'm gonna tell you, I don't run around pumping my chest about what I can do and do it. Because I know most people aren't gonna come to me wanting to fight. They're gonna want to shoot me, right? So I'm nice, man. I'm the nicest guy. I'm a smile. If I see your kid in the store, I'm a wave at the kid. Like sometimes they're like, man, who this guy's with? That's me. And I'm gonna tell you what. When you get outside the box and you jump on the other side of who I am genuinely, then you're going to mess around and find out. And it's only going to be up to me and you to tell which one of us is the baddest mofo at that time. And I'm going to tell you, I don't talk a lot, but I don't like to lose. So if I got to poke eyeballs out, pull teeth, do whatever, that's what's going to happen. I don't play fair when you cross the line. So when you see that little avenue right there where it says find out and fuck around and they kind of meet, and you cross that, that's the line for you right there. But other than that, I'm spreading nothing but love and happiness and joy.
And that's where Berto comes in. When you do cross that line, then he can help you resolve that. But I don't even really think it's Berto's profession to know where that line is or define the line. Yeah. He's there to help you figure out when you do cross that line. There you go. And I want to say something about what Morgan said. She said something about vulnerability. Mm-hmm. I think I have always been able to be vulnerable, and I've always been very direct and abrupt and open and things like whatever that is. But here's something that I realized in real time when Berto said something a minute ago. I used to encourage my soldiers, and it almost became like a joke that after spending a year with me, you needed to go see the wizard at the end. So I would say things like that in order to get people to go so that the stigma would be lifted off of it and they would feel okay to go talk about some shit that they wanted to. Yeah. Right. But I have 4 daughters and 2 sons. But I think when we were talking about how do you talk to your daughters, I think I spoke to my daughters and showed them how to be more like badass as opposed to being girly girls. So, correct. And I know that they've seen my anger, they've seen me yell. So someone asked the question earlier, and it hit me because how would you talk to right. a woman like you would talk to your daughter? Right. I'd never used that metric before, but it occurred to me that no, I don't do that. I think I am an overly masculine man sometimes, and I'm proud of that. And that's always the way I'm going to be. But here's the line that I'll tell you that I've defined for myself. There's a time and place for that.
There you go. And
it's very important to be able to exact destruction on a specified target, pretty quickly. And I know you know what I'm talking about, Al. Yeah. But what I struggle with is trying to hold that back, because whenever someone argues with me, Berto can tell you, if I feel like I'm being opposed, I'm going to argue the shit out of whatever point I have, because I feel like we've entered the people's court, right? And I got to defend my dissertation,
right? So let me finish the Liza Mundy thing, and then I'll get back to that, Ty. So Liza Mundy defined security from the men's perspective as I provide a roof, I provide the finances, I bring the bacon home. That's my role. That means security, right? For women, guess what? It don't fucking matter. Money don't matter. The state of your house don't matter. All they want is you to be there and to be supportive of them, right?
Right.
So now when you have that dichotomy, right, of the two perspectives, keep in mind what I tell all my guys, all my veterans and clients. I tell them this very, very simple thing. I am not trying to change who you are. I'm trying to change how you do things because you came here for a reason. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So that I'll leave that at that. So, but consider that how women define security. Ask your woman, ask your spouse tonight. How do you define security in our relationship? And I guarantee it's going to be different than yours. And
that's true.
Right. So let me get back to what Ty was saying. And then if it's okay with you guys, I'll break out.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep you for, I mean, I told the guys before we started that the fact that we're bringing Berto on, there's a possibility that we'll go 2 hours. Right. And I even said, I don't want to, I want us to keep it around an hour, but there's a possibility. So yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I hear you. No, and I love these conversations are very impromptu because this is something I'm going to give you guys the example that really pissed me the hell off, not only as a service member, but as a mental health professional. Fort Campbell, at the time that I left in 2010, had 4 BCTs, right? What were they called? The battalion combat teams, right? Mm-hmm. Guess where they decided to put a fucking mental health trailer? Right in front of the infantry battalion. Tell me one human being that you know that served anywhere near combat MOSs that are going to be willing to go across the street from where they're residing to go get mental health. Hell no, because they're more fearful of the
what it's going to look like
than they are of the results that they might actually get. Right? And so that just irritated. Like, you're not protecting confidentiality. That's number one. Right? If you have everybody who knows you and going in, they're like, oh shit, he's going to go see the wizard, man. Shit, can we trust him? If bullets are flying, can we trust him? That's the first thing that's going to happen. And that's one of the things that we need to change, that stigma. Right? I also remember 5th Group Sergeant Major saying around 2010, PTSD does not exist. Right? Well, let me go back. Let me give you guys a history lesson. In the 1800s, PTSD was called train wreck syndrome. Because that was the most traumatic, big thing that would happen in the 1800s. Then we know it as shell shock. We know it as battle fatigue, right, or combat fatigue. And now we have an official name. The official name came out in the 90s, and it's called post-traumatic stress, right? So how do we define a traumatic event? Well, PTSD is very tricky, right, particularly for service members, because most service members will meet the first criteria. The first criteria is you experience a life-threatening experience and or you witnessed a life-threatening experience with somebody else, right? So how many of us know somebody that got shot at, even if it wasn't us? Mm-hmm. All of us, right? All of us. The other big component is, now how is it affecting you through your life, right? And so here's where shit gets tricky as a mental health provider. Guess what? Irritability is a symptom of depression. It's a symptom of anxiety. It's a symptom of trauma. So when your primary go-to is anger, I have to be able to tease out certain experiences and certain things to be able to go in the right direction, right? The other big thing that I hear from veterans, and myself included, I refuse to take meds for the longest fucking time. And then you know what? I took my own freaking advice. I said, I need to have a growth mindset because this is not an area of my expertise. Psychiatrists go to school for almost 12 years to learn everything they need to know about prescribing meds, right? So I'm going to put my trust in them, but it needs to be collaborative. Yes, I love that chart. Fixed mindset. You can't tell me nothing, right? Growth mindset is like, oh shit, that sounds interesting. Let me try that. That's the big difference, right? And many of us have that fixed mindset. We need to defend our honor. From who? From who? Right? Ain't nobody, unless you're going out in East Oakland at midnight,
right?
Ain't nobody going to be putting a gun to your face. Ain't nobody going to be shooting no rounds, right? So all of a sudden, you have this need to, you need to respect me. And the only way that we know to get that respect is to be that uber masculine, that uber testosterone person, right? And the reality is, that's not that may or may not need to be who you want to be, right? I don't want to be known Here's a great exercise. Write what you want your epitaph to be. You want it to say the angry vet that fucking stood for my honor every fucking time? Or do you want to be remembered as the loving husband, the loving father that took care of the family? Right? Think about that. What do you want your tombstone to say? And then strive for that. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Thanks.
There you go.
Man. But from a who gives a shit if a rugrat at 7-Eleven called you an asshole because you got a white beard?
Yeah, because you're never going to know the truth about what people really feel about you till you're gone. That's just the reality of it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People, you'll never live to hear the truth about really what people talk about you, right?
Yeah.
Funerals there, people going to come up to the thing and they're going to say what they remember and all that kind of stuff. And if you lived your life,
then they're going to leave the church and go home and be like, he was a fucking asshole.
Where's the chicken? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to say something nice because there were so many people there.
It's funny. I know Berto's got to jump, but I went to a funeral for my wife's uncle, right? It was like, and I've known this man forever. Like, he's a Vietnam vet, so I respect him for that. But I've never heard anything nice about this guy. Like, he was just an asshole of a human being. Like, he stabbed his own family. He was just a horrible human being. And I remember sitting in the church and hearing these people get up and talk about like how loving and how great he was. And I was thinking to myself, am I in the right? Like, who is in the casket? Well, is that the same person? But you're absolutely right. Like, everybody, like, this guy was and then everybody's like, he's great. But as soon as the shit was over, they're like, yeah, that dude was an asshole.
They're going to say what they think everybody wants to hear.
Right. So, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yep. This is good stuff, man. Good comments, good interaction. The people that came, I just seen Danielle put a thing up. And, man, we appreciate you guys because this is what it's about. We want you guys to interact, to be a part of it. Hopefully there's things that, when we come together that you guys are able to get. I want to tell you, Berto, we appreciate you coming in, man, and dropping the jewels on us and giving us some tangible things that we can work towards. And these are real legitimate things. These are not just stuff that's just thrown out in the air. So I appreciate you for that and being available to us as a Triple Threat Vet podcast and being a part of the family, man, wearing the shirt and doing the work. I appreciate that, brother. And we love you for that. All you guys who have came in and interacted with us. Hopefully we were able to answer some of the questions and interact to a point where it was obtainable for you guys. You guys can understand we love you, man. This is what it's about. Like I said, even if it's just for the people who are here and involved in this conversation and nobody else hears it, hopefully somebody gains something from that. And that's exactly what we want, man. So I just want to shoot that love out for the Triple Threat Vet podcast. Give a special shout out to my man, Berto Fight. Let me borrow that car one day because you can't take it with you when you go. So you might as well.
I'm racing it on the 16th and 17th. You get a flight out here, I'll put you in the car.
For sure.
Yeah, Berto's an ambassador. I don't know your title, Berto, but you work with the Vet Motorsports, right?
Yeah, I used to. After this year, we stopped. But Vet Motorsports, they're out in Texas. They're out in Florida, East Coast. They're basically nationwide. They do. We can't really call it helmet therapy, but basically we put vets in cars and we teach them how to drive in a high performance environment. And that's ultimately why I bought the BMW that I have. And before that, I had a Honda Civic Type R, right? So all these things, right? These are things that bring me joy, right? When I go out, man, listen, you need to focus on the
even therapists need therapy.
Yeah, even therapists need therapy. You're absolutely right. When I go there, I'm not worried about the bills. I'm not worried about how am I going to build the Lego set? Who's going to cook dinner? The dogs, right? One of my dogs potentially has dementia now. I'm not worried about that because if I'm worried about that, I'm not concentrating on the driving that I need to do.
JD, get him. Wind therapy. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. JD is part of the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. Awesome brother. Goes by I don't know if I should say that. I don't know. He's an awesome dude.
All right. With that, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. You guys know I'm available. Just hit me up. Also, I'm going to set up an email address and I'll send it to you, Ty, so you can post it. And when people have questions, they can just email it, and then we'll pick some to put on air, and then I'll try to respond to as many as I can. And let me give this disclosure that if you ask me a broad question, I'm going to give you a broad answer. right?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to, be vulnerable and give me all your dirty secrets in the email. But if you have some broad questions, I will try to answer them the best I can. And if not, I will try to refer you to where you need to be.
There you go. My man.
Yeah,
very much,
appreciate it,
brother.
Berto. Berto
Appreciate
Fife is your superheroes, your favorite superheroes,
Superhero.
favorite superhero, baby.
Go.
Just know it.
That's right.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
All right, love you, Berto. We'll holler at you later, buddy.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Well, that was fun, guys.
That whole episode was like a hot seat.
There you go. Yeah. Didn't have to do a hot seat, y'all. So just in case you just want to hear it. You got it.
That was something there, man. I'm telling you.
I wish Matt could have been here for that. I know he would have been very engaged and had some good stuff to offer with that, because he is one of the people that I seek out for counsel sometimes, So
me too.
I know he's probably listening somewhere, or if he didn't listen live, then he's going to go home and pull it up and he's going to give us some feedback on it. But miss you, Matt, man. Wish you were here.
His better half was on, so she was watching.
Yeah, I seen Becky in the comments.
Becky's
Hey,
here,
Becky,
so we
what's up?
good. As long as Becky approves, we're good.
Yeah. Well,
So let me just hit we talked about Project Zero pretty hardcore. Talked about LaShonda Johns. Thanks, Berto, for coming on. That's a book I'm going to talk about later on. Here we go. Next week we have Josh Hammonds, Navy Senior Chief, coming on. Here's some pictures with him and his family. Berto, or not Berto, I'm sorry. Al, I was looking at Berto.
I know old Josh.
Hey,
Okay.
there he is.
Yeah.
We know Josh.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's going to be a fun time. I just wanted to say this is a good show, and I'm vulnerable, Morgan, because I've made so many mistakes. I mean, part of it is just because I want to get some scenarios out there, and the easiest scenarios to pull is me. But the biggest thing is I've made a bunch of mistakes, and I definitely want to do the right thing by my kids, by my buddies here on the podcast, and my family. So I want to be the best husband for my wife. So that's why I'm vulnerable. I mean, trust me, I got a huge ego. I got to check it sometimes, but
and the thing about her too, Ty, she's awesome. Morgan's awesome. I personally know her husband pretty well. He's been through a ton. He's a combat veteran. His heart is as big as he is, right? He's a big boy too, right? But he shirt off his back. Now I could probably take his shirt and put it on my mattress, but the dude is definitely a stand-up guy. And I know that she's his rock, right? I mean, he's going through some rough stuff too. He's had a hard time in life, and that guy is definitely got a good partner in life with her, as far as having a support system and somebody who listens and understands. Me and Kevin talk quite often, but yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to Morgan. I know it's her birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday. We love you guys for sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's that Matt right there. He's listening while he's driving. So
my man Matt's in the building.
Hope he gets a ticket. I hope they pull you over and give you a ticket for that. That is illegal shit, mate.
Nah, the way Matt,
I love you, brother.
Pulled him over, he would offer to make them some T-shirts. And
he probably would. He'd be like, "Oh, you want some T-shirts? Like, hey, here's my
badass
business card.
Police design."
Yeah. I'll hook you up.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh shit.
There it is. Well, you all, it's that time, man, that we go ahead and say good night to everybody, and thank you all for coming out and being with us again for another week. I would say this. I can just tell that there are some people still, that are going through some things and they're dealing with things, and that's okay. It is totally okay to have things going on and things to be dark. The key is to find the light, right? The light is inside of you. You just have to dig deep inside of yourself and pull that light out, right? There was a light that started you, and until God blows that light out, you have to keep on pushing to keep that light shining. So I tell you, put yourself in a circle with people who love you. In order for you to love somebody else, you have to truly find a way to love yourself. You have to love yourself enough to allow someone to love you back, right? Or to even give love to someone else. So I challenge you to do that. Take a picture of yourself. Ask yourself, what are you going to do about it? Write some things on the back of it that you can do to fix your situation, no matter what your situation is. And if you don't know the answer, if you don't know a way, put a name of somebody that you think can help you. If it's my name or somebody else's name and you reach out, I'm going to do the best I can to help you out in the situation if I can. And if I don't, I'm going to refer you to somebody who I feel may. But just take that opportunity, all right? I'm going to tell you all the time, just get up, get out, do better. I want to see you here next week. And the only way that you're going to make that happen is you got to get up every day to get there. We got 6 days and counting before I see you again. Until then, I love you all. Thank you guys for being a part of the Triple Threat Bet Podcast. I'm your man, DJ Royalty. I'm going to bring my man, TY, and my man, El Hero back so that they can say some last words. Al, what you got, big dog?
I'm super easy, and we talked about it a lot today. You kind of said enough. I don't really need to go into a lot, but I will tell you this. If you don't like where you're at, you don't like your situation, you don't like your perspective, change your situation, change your perspective. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, smash that fucking mirror and move on, right? What you see is not always what it appears to be, right? Change your perspective, change your situation, get out and do something, and reach out to your people and love them, right? Love each other. Call a brother, call a sister this week, and check on them. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well said, my brother. See you, man. All right, my man TY, you want to wax poetic for us for a little bit? You know what I'm saying? You in here live with us.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep you on screen for this because this is probably going to be the screen you're going to see when you see me on the treadmill, when you see me working out, when you see me outside walking. This will probably be what you see on the screen. This has been a great night. You know, we're anytime I get to spend with my brothers is great. We look forward to this Thursday. Every week we talk about it. You know, who we having on, what we're going to talk about, and to be transparent with you, we didn't plan this episode. Matt had an obligation, so we just figured we'd talk some shit and bring Berto on and get some therapy going. This is what's great about this. You're going to see me out there when you see me on social media, on the Triple Threat Bet Podcast, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever I go live. I mean, encourage me because I'll keep myself accountable to you guys and my brothers here. You guys live your best life. That's all I got, brother.
My man, well said. All right, y'all, this is our time. We are the Triple Threat Bet Podcast. And to my man, Matt Johnson, that's out there, we miss you, brother. I know he would say to you guys to keep on pushing forward. Make sure you go on the website, get you some of that stuff, that sameflagsameoath.com. This is the Got Your Six culture movement. He's doing big things, and we miss you, bro. But for all of you guys who are part of the family, who watch us, who follow us, who listen to us wherever you listen to us, we appreciate each and every one of you. And your love is not going unnoted. All right, I just want you to know that. But until I see you again next week, you guys be good, be safe, take care of yourself, and love somebody else. All right, talk to you then. I'm DJ Royal T. We out.
Hey,